hope so.
Really hope so.
Really hope so.
So wait, what are the papers saying this morning?
Well, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, the Speaker of Parliament, is in the news on all the front pages this morning. I take you to the Ghanaian Times version of that story. You are undermining Parliament. Bagbin accuses executive and judicial arms of government. Also on the front page this morning, I will complete PTC interchange Takrady Market Circle project before I leave office. The President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is promising. Also on the front page this morning, U.S. elections. Trump makes sweeping comeback as U.S. vows to deepen relations with Ghana regardless of polls outcome. Some other stories here in the Ghanaian Times.
The Daily Graphic says, no constitutional crisis, Speaker of Parliament assures nation. Shift to holistic education, Reverend Professor Asari Danso advocates knowledge, skills, and moral values. Petroleum rakes in $840.77 million in half a year, and special supplement on Farmers' Day. And Don Trump is here, will make America great again, Trump declares as 47th U.S. president elect. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, Mobile President presents cash award to NSMQ winning team. And Upper East Region achieves 100% CHIPS zone coverage.
Let me take you to the Chronicle newspaper, and I would amend the headline briefly. Bagbin is angry, accuses judiciary and executive of colluding to weaken Parliament. Also the front page this morning, Baumia's vision for education to be unveiled. And stubborn Trump returns to the White House.
The Daily Guide is here. It says EC presents certified voters register to parties, and there's a picture of Madame Jean Mensah on the front page of the Daily Guide. Dr. Baumia says I'll establish tomato factory at Akomadan. Nana elevates 15 assemblies. No constitutional crisis. That's coming from the Right Honorable Alban Bagbin, Speaker of Parliament. And Trump sweeps U.S. elections.
The Daily Post says this morning, digitalization meaningless to us when we have no access to electricity. An Asante chief is quoted here on the front page as saying, also Akufo-Addo and judiciary have violated the constitution. Alban Bagbin quoted here, and I trust your re-election brings prosperity to the American people. Mahama in a tribute to Donald Trump.
The Anchor newspaper says ILAPI, which is the Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation, has uncovered 167.8 million cedis and $14.6 million in dormant accounts with BOG.
Hey, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money. Sam Jonah proposes 1-year military service for graduates, says Ghana needs leaders, not followers. Speaker Bagbin takes on judiciary executive, and he says there's no constitutional crisis. And this is a human interest story. Broken down Agodeke Bando pontoon still not fixed as residents resort to rickety canoes to cross lake.
Danger on that water course. Please do something about it. The business analyst says, from me finally, IEA slams BOG over gold coin, demands permanent solutions to cedi instability. Also on the front page this morning, inflation hits 22.1% in October. Power and Energy Ghana Expo, Power and Energy Ghana Expo kicks off. And then also cocoa farmers in Ghana hoard beans in anticipation of price hike.
It's an ancient
story.
Story from, I think, Monday. A Reuters story that has resurfaced.
Yep.
Yes, the Daybreak newspaper says South African behind $45 million scandal in Ghana. Kumasi Brewery collapsed under your watch. Akufo-Addo jabs Mahama. Baumia engages parents on the 10th of November. And another story says, coming up, Consolidated Bank Ghana in disarray because of power play among top officials.
Channel 1 News. Parliament reconvenes amid intense power struggle over vacant seats. Also, election 2024 Baumia to engage parents, students on free SHS Steve at November 10. And then Trump not model of leadership, Professor Jemandria. And then NDC's majority claim an attempt to disrupt democracy. This is very much in other stories. Nketia says MPP Ashanti Region's development projects are election tactics. And then Babin says, I don't determine where MPs sit in Parliament. CitiNewsroom.com. Parliament reconvenes today amid majority-minority standoff with a photo of the man of the moment, Alban Sumana. Meanwhile, Baumia to launch credit score system today. He also promises to establish airport city in Menchia if elected. NDC says election 2024, Trump's victory is a good omen for us. And then other stories are on Bagbin. Meanwhile, Kufuado unveiled statue of himself at Efiam Kwanta Hospital in Second D.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Whose idea was that one?
We will check. I will find out for you. So the statue, but it looks like him actually. And then if you go to my journal online, Parliament reconvenes today amid cross-carpeting brouhaha will occupy majority side. This is Agboja speaking. Edward says NDC's promise to uncap get fund could transform education, he says. And the certified register provided lacks essential voter data. This is NDC not happy. Meanwhile, new oil wells boost Ghana's petroleum revenue to record level. That's a very interesting story as well. I'll take you a few places. If you go to graphic, the same story. New oil wells are boosting petroleum revenue to record levels. And then judicial executive are continuing to weaken parliament. Babin is not happy. In the global scene, everybody is reflecting on a night Trump took over. Trump prepares to appoint top jobs after Harris vows to help transition. That's the BBC's lead story. This morning, the New York Times says in Trump's win, the GOP sees signs of a new coalition. His victory depended on voters from core Democratic constituencies.
Okay.
That's their angle. Fox News says Governor Newsom's statement that he will work with President Trump comes with words of warning. So they are in U.S. internal politics there.
Are not tired yet?
No. And then CNN has an article on where Harris's campaign went wrong. All of these and more. Globally.
Yesterday I was watching CNN and the people have started their thing again.
What have you started?
What have they started?
They are looking for trouble for Trump. They say he has done what again. CNN. You know what I saw interesting was you could probably sense the mood change in the presentation because
I saw it. So when I came in,
Yeah.
About 5 a.m. yesterday, there was this gentleman. Was it Van Jones? I think his name is.
the black guy.
So I walked.
No,
into
he
the
cried
meeting.
when
I
Biden
sat down.
stepped down.
So I was
no, with handkerchief can you be?
Charlie, so the telly was on, and I was hearing this very somber voice, and I was wondering, but this guy, is he hungry, tired,
the
sleepy?
day that Joe Biden stepped down,
wasn't doing it.
Van Jones went to the studio and he had a handkerchief and he was crying, crying. CNN says why there will be few checks on Trump in his second term. Then they say he thinks presidents have near total power. There will be little to stop him in his second term. That's the CNN story. Charlie, CNN, they be strong people.
Let's take off this morning, man.
Anyway, if Bernard, you mentioned
Bagmin too, Charlie. They do
Charlie, yeah, man. He's here on the
I
front
want
page.
Bagmin to meet Trump. they will like each other. Two strong men. A meeting between Bagmin, Trump, and Akufo-Addo.
Charlie.
It go big. Okay?
Anyway, so the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament is here, and he is saying that, or he has assured Ghanaians that there is no constitutional crisis in the country. He said Parliament was alive and working, a reason Ghanaians must not allow themselves to be misled, misinformed, or disinformed.
Okay.
He said, quote, the democratic system we adopted and enacted as captured in the 92 Constitution and fleshed out in our various laws, processes, procedures and practices is what has been triggered, and it is working. Let us allow it to work, end quote. Now, he speaks on rule of law, and he was shedding light on the consequences of litigation on the proceedings of Parliament at a Speaker's media briefing at Parliament House in Accra. And he said democracy was about the rule of law, and it must be allowed to work. He also said Parliament was alive and working. It had not been dissolved or prorogued, prohibited, suspended, or terminated. He said the plenary sitting and meetings of Parliament were adjourned indefinitely due to the lack of quorum to take decisions as a result of a walkout staged by the MPP side of the House.
Meanwhile, today, Ghana's Parliament reconvenes amid brouhaha over who occupies which side. Citi Newsroom is reporting that the impasse began when the Speaker declared the 4 seats vacant. Now, we are told that there will be they will go back today. It's expected to be a turning point as both sides prepare to debate and attempt to break the deadlock Parliament faces one of its most contentious moments in recent history, with the resolution of this power struggle likely to shape the future of Ghana's legislative landscape. It's an article on Channel 1 News as well. So we are there. Our team is there. Actually, this morning said when they went, they are just in security setup, but no MP had turned up yet.
Okay, let me just quickly draw your attention to a story on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times. South Dai legislator goes to court to stop 4 MPs from having access to the chamber. Now, Malik Suleimana says the Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dapamapo, is asking the High Court in Accra to order the Speaker of Parliament to stop 4 MPs whose seats were declared vacant from having access to the chamber. Now, the plaintiff asked the court for a declaration confirming the vacancy of the parliamentary seats of Mr. Andrew Amwakwe Siama, MP for Fomena, Mrs. Cynthia Mamle Morrison, MP for Akuna West, Mr. Kojo Asante, the Member of Parliament for Suhum, and Mr. Peter Yao Kwachi Aka, Member of Parliament for the Memphis Central constituency, by the ruling of the Speaker made on October 17, 2024.
Just a quick addition. First Deputy Majority Chief Whip Habib Idrisu has assured Ghanaians that the MPP will maintain a disciplined stance when they come to Parliament today, and he says that we will not engage in any drama in Parliament today. The Speaker also says he doesn't determine where people sit, as he addressed the press yesterday. Now, away from Parliament, what other stories are we looking at today?
If you go to the front page of the Daily Guide, the Electoral Commission is here, and the paper says that the Commission has presented soft copies of the certified final voters register to all political parties, and it did that yesterday. This follows the successful resolution of all discrepancies identified in the provisional voters register. The chairperson of the ECG, Mensah, who described the final register as, quote, robust and incredible, end quote, pledged the electoral management body's commitment to ensure transparency and fairness in the polls.
All right, there have been reactions to this. The NDC and MPP have been talking about this. The NDC has expressed some concerns about the register. If you go to Major Online, there's a story that's quoted to attributed to Ernest Ahimful. It says the NDC has raised serious concern about the certified voter register provided by the EC, claiming that essential data, voter data required to verify its accuracy and credibility are missing. This issue was brought to light by Dr. Dovani Buama, NDC Director of Elections and IT, who expressed these concerns shortly after the release of the certified register to political parties on Wednesday. In a Facebook post, Dr. Mani Buama asserted that the absence of critical data points from the voter register compromises its credibility and hinders the verification process. Meanwhile, the NPP's Director of Elections says he thinks the register is fine.
Okay, let's take you to the political arena. There's a story here on...
You mean the campaign?
The campaign, yes. So we have something here from Baumia. Baumia's vision for education to be unveiled. Jennifer Ambole says on page 2 of the Chronicle that the campaign team for the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, has asked the Ministry of Education to shed more light on Ghana's educational reforms, according to a statement released. In a statement signed by the Director of Communications for the team, Dennis Miracles Abuaji, on Wednesday, November 6, 2024, it disclosed that the flag bearer would engage parents and students of this country on the 10th of November 2024 to outline his plans for the future of Ghana's education. Now, the address titled Protecting Free SHS, Providing Skills for Jobs, the Baumia Plan will offer insight into Dr. Baumia's educational agenda, particularly his commitment to fortifying free senior high school and free technical and vocational education and training team.
Meanwhile, NDC Chairman General Mosquito has described the Ashanti region as a decorated shrine for the MPP, accusing the ruling party of launching flashy development projects only in the lead up to the election. Speaking on the third day of his campaign tour of Achiasi in Achimamponia in Ashanti, Asiedu Keita criticized MPP for ignoring the region's genuine needs until election time. He claimed the party tends to initiate a flurry of development projects just to secure votes without any sustained commitment to addressing the region's long-term issues. If
you stay with the election, Dr. Baumia is here on page 9 of the Daily Guide, and he has promised to build a tomato processing factory in Akumadan in the Ofinsu North District, which is one of the leading tomato producing areas in the country if he wins the polls. According to Dr. Baumia, the establishment of the processing factory will form part of his grand vision of revolutionizing Ghana's agriculture and creating wealth for its sector players, especially farmers.
All right, now there are a few other stories we can bring you. You were wondering about the statue. Okay, so I'll bring you that story. Secondly, Akufo-Addo unveils statue of himself at Efia Nkwanta Hospital. Kwesi Ajayanim is reporting for City Newsroom. He says, President Nana Akufo-Addo has unveiled a statue of himself at the entrance of the Efia Nkwanta Regional Hospital in Sekondi as part of his one-day thank you tour of the Western region. Western Regional Minister Kwabena Okyere Mensah explained that the statue honors the president's initiatives in the region, including the rehabilitation of the Fiang Kwanta Regional Hospital, the construction of a 3-tier Sino-Hydro interchange, and the redevelopment of the Takrady Market Circle. Addressing residents in Takrady on Wednesday, the President highlighted his achievements since taking office, claiming to have fulfilled 80% of his promises to Ghanaians. He encouraged voters to support Dr. Bawumia in the upcoming election, emphasizing that this would allow his administration's initiatives to continue.
I think we have long passed the years when presidents unveiled statues of themselves and do all of these things. This is completely unnecessary. It doesn't send the right message. There are so many Ghanaians who we want celebrated. There will come a time if Ghanaians believe that President Akufo-Addo should be celebrated and something erected in his honor, that will be done
after he leaves office.
Yes, that's
so
right.
That
but
somebody
while
else
you're presiding, and then
you go and give yourself.
The same thing happened recently at Yoko. The new head of Yoko, you don't really even know what they are doing.
You don't want to wait so that when you go, they'll forget. So you want to immortalize.
No, it is just wrong. It is wrong. People around them should tell
but to
them
be
that.
fair, the guy got the head right. I mean, I'm not saying I agree, but the head there, he did it well. The statue guy did for Charlie, and the spectacles, he got a round size, correct? No, the guy did for. So if you want to do a statue, contact the guy who did a Fiang Kwanta one. And the man was even smart. You know the way the guy, when he's walking in suit, he's happy. Charlie, do him.
Anyway, if you go to page 2.
Even if you don't know that it's him, you know it. When you see the head, but you know it's him. No, so if you have Kwanta statue maker, Charlie, you have. Let's continue with the paper.
If you go to page 2 of the Anchor newspaper, the Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation has uncovered large amounts of money in different currencies sitting in dormant accounts with the BOG.
The banks,
The amounts involve over 167.8 million cedis, $14.6 million, as well as over 2.4 million pounds and 2.3 million euros, all accumulated between 2016 and 2023 in dormant accounts with the central bank. This information was contained in a release put out by the Institute on Tuesday and signed by its executive director, Peter Bismarck-Kofi. The report also revealed that between 2021 and July 2024, dormant accounts transferred to the BOG stood at 1,448,660. This came to light after Ilapi petitioned the BOG demanding a detailed report of total amounts of money accrued from inactive accounts.
Those things? What would they do with it?
Yeah, so the question is whether we can trace the owners of these accounts.
Because
if
relatives.
You have an account, yes. I mean, if you have an account that you have not operationalized for a number of years, it falls into default.
And yet there's money inside.
Yeah,
but individuals are allowed to hold bank accounts at the BOG.
No, this is not BOG. These are banks.
Yeah, the banks normally will transfer.
Okay.
Because you have not been to that bank for the past 20 years or so, yet you have money in it. Sometimes it's as a result of death. Some people have gone missing.
Yeah.
Other people have traveled. But some people are also there, but they have forgotten that they have a bank account.
They have a bank account.
Well. So I think we have to do something.
New wells boost Ghana's production of petroleum revenue to record level. Let me give you the highlights of that.
Let me do this story about the BOG before you do that.
Okay.
The IEA is slamming the BOG over gold coin and is demanding permanent solutions to the cedi instability. That on the front page of the Business Analyst. And it says the Institute of Economic Affairs has expressed surprise about the reasons behind the introduction of the Bank of Ghana's Ghana gold coin, arguing that the Bank of Ghana should find permanent solutions to the perennial instability of the cedi to the dollar. Now, the central bank recently suggested that the GCC could be an alternative store value to the dollar, which appears to be in high demand, straining the cedi-dollar exchange rate. But the IEA is saying that this is not the right thing.
Let's do the petroleum story quickly,
Yes,
Nathan.
page 13 of the Daily Graphic. The story is written by Macklin Kofi, and it says the government received the highest petroleum revenue for a single half year in 2024 since the start of petroleum production in 2010. Data from the 2024 semi-annual report of the Public Interest and Accountability Committee (PIAC) show that petroleum receipts for the period increased by 55.6% from $540 million to $840 million in the same period of 2024.
Great news there.
Yeah.
I'll do a statue for you. I'll do a statue for you. You'll be big man. By the time you travel and come back, it will be waiting.
Oh, jump on
Go. Go me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind said, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Yeah. So where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Joe Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know I be your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know I be your side. And when you dream, no say I live for you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I live for you. Many want. If I believe I be your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I be your side, fidelity.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva Tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangerine. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055 00 32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News with MTN, EcoBank, and Goyle. Ilate is here with the news. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News. The bulletin is proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and EcoBank. This morning, skepticism greets government's 15% end-year inflation target after rate inched up marginally for 2 months running. Also, analysts project increase in remittances to Ghana should U.S. President-elect stick to his migration control and economic prosperity campaign promise. Later, cocoa farmers intensify their pressure on Cocoa Board on future direction of cocoa farm gate prices to minimize the hoarding of the commodity. My name is Ni Latte, and I'm grateful that you joined us this morning. Economic watchers are expressing skepticism over the government's ability to slow the country's inflation rate to 15% by end of 2024. This comes after inflation rose slightly in October 2024 to 22.1%, up from the 21.5% in September, the second consecutive monthly increase after a 5-month decline earlier in 2024. The surge in the overall inflation was driven by higher rates in both food and non-food categories, with food inflation rising from 22.1% to 22.8% and non-food inflation taken up from 20.9% to 21.5%. Professor Godfrey Bokpin is an economist, and he has been casting doubt about the end-year inflation target.
Our expectation was that it would moderate a bit, but this specific outcome is also not surprising given the underlying factors and inflationary pressures, that inflationary pressures haven't eased considerably. And therefore, one is able to come to terms with it quite quickly. But what this will mean probably for our end of year inflation target is what I believe stakeholders will be a bit more concerned about, because people have made projections and all of that with government end of year targets. Of course, it looks very difficult now achieving the end of year target that we have set, because we have just 2 months to go. And then we've also seen the currency appreciating, and that the pass through, of course, is not contemporaneous. That cannot be discounted.
That was economist Professor Godfrey Bokpin. Now, as U.S. President-elect Donald Trump prepares to assume leadership of the global superpower and intensify his plans for stricter migration controls and economic prosperity, economists are predicting significant impact on Ghanaian immigrants in the state and their families back home, particularly in terms of a potential surge in remittances. My colleague Daniel Sakiti has more in the following report.
Donald Trump, who has consistently championed strong economic policies and immigration reforms, has made it clear that his administration will prioritize job creation in the U.S. With his focus on strengthening domestic economic conditions, some economists believe these policies could indirectly benefit Ghanaians living in the U.S. by creating favorable job opportunities and ensuring income stability, which could lead to an increase in remittances sent back to Ghana. This boost in remittances would come at a crucial time as the country's economy faces challenges like inflation and currency fluctuations. For financial economist Professor Lord Mensah, the Trump administration's focus on economic progress could have a ripple effect, particularly for Ghanaians who have successfully integrated into the U.S. economy.
If you look at, the foreign inflows that comes to Ghana, remittance is just a small fraction of it. But then I can tell you that remittance will go up because, once businesses are booming in America, it is expected that our brothers and cousins who are there will get, jobs to do. And by so doing, they may be, having enough, to send across. And Americans have voted for a restoration of, the economy back to where it was, during Donald Trump's, time. And so we should expect remittance to go up.
That was financial economist Professor Lord Mensah ending Daniel Sakiti's report. We stay a while longer on Donald Trump's re-election and its impact on Ghana, because some stakeholders in the energy sector are projecting a significant drop in oil prices on the international market starting 2025. With a corresponding impact on local markets, including that of Ghana. Donald Trump is promising to prioritize production of fossil fuels, roll back extensive regulations, and scale back renewable energy initiatives. In an interview with Citi Business News, energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Suleimana suggested that Trump's return to office will likely lead to the implementation of policies designed to alleviate pressure on global oil prices.
U.S. has become number one oil producer thanks to hydraulic fracking. And Trump has made it clear that he's going to prepare frack to levels that we've not seen before. If that should happen, it means that, fracking and green energy are told they are always opposite each other of sort. So Trump may like to put pressures on investment to the renewable energy, and that could propel that of hydraulic fracking. That would mean that a lot of hydrocarbon will be churned out. And so we like to see that since 2019, US has been number one oil producer. That will be cemented undoubtedly going to 2025. And cementing that will mean that the hidden pressure that we had that sometimes propel oil prices, they may be nullified in a way. So in all directions that you look at it, Trump presidency would like to see more pressures on oil prices, especially if US actually ramp up and produces more, where even OPEC cuts will not make any impact. Then you like to see pressures within oil prices going down.
Energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Suleiman. Local cocoa farmers are pressing on the Ghana Cocoa Board for clarity on whether the government plans to raise the current cocoa price as farmers continue to hoard beans in anticipation of an increase. Reports suggest that many cocoa growers are holding back their produce, hoping for a government price hike, causing disruptions throughout the cocoa value chain.
Despite strong demand for cocoa, many Ghanaian farmers are withholding their crops, expecting a price increase in the near future. The government had initially set the farm gate price at nearly 45% higher, 48,000 cedis or just under $3,000 per metric ton for the 2024-2025 crop season, which began in September. But after Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia hinted at a potential price increase 4 weeks ago, farmers began stockpiling their cocoa, refusing to sell until an official price adjustment is announced. The standoff has created shortages for buyers and manufacturers struggling to secure supply. Francis Taino is president of the Mancon Cocoa Farmers Cooperative, and he's urging Cocoa Board to address the matter by clarifying whether a price increase is on the horizon.
According to some of the farmers, the vice president was in the Western North region, and he made certain statements, and from what they deduce from that statement tells them that government is coming to increase the price of cocoa. And for that reason, some of them are feeling reluctant. So I believe, looking at how this thing has generated a lot of concerns, I was expecting Cocoa Board to come out with a clear statement whether they will increase it or not, so that farmers will be free and sell their cocoa to LBC, so that government can get what the cocoa that they were expecting to be able to sell and get the proceeds to support the economy. We don't see any reason why farmers should be holding their cocoa, thinking that the price of cocoa will go up. So we're expecting Cocoa Board to come out clearly to speak on it. Other than that, farmers will still be having doubts, and they will continue to be doing what we are all hearing that they are doing.
President of the Mancon Cocoa Farmers Cooperative Union, Francis Taino, ending that report by Citi Business News' Shika Caesar. Now, leading automobile dealer Japan Motors has outdoored the Geely brand, featuring 3 new models designed to elevate the driving experience. The models include the Geely GX3 Pro, Geely Star Ray, and Geely Cool Ray, which are assembled in Ghana. These vehicles are tailored for users seeking style, performance, and advanced technology. Speaking at the launch of the models, a general manager in charge of sales and marketing at Japan Motors, Amin Kabara, said the introduction of these innovative vehicles is to offer comfort to prospective customers.
This is not simply adding new products to our existing lineup, as you already know, Japan Motors. It's about opening a new chapter in the Ghana's automotive landscape. It's really going to be something going to impress everyone here. I strongly believe that Geely will redefine the driving experience with its innovation, advanced technology, exceptional quality, and most importantly, its affordability. So very soon, we will experience together what Geely is about to offer, and this will be a new era of mobility in Ghana.
Amin Kabara is General Manager in charge of sales and marketing at Japan Motors. On the currency market this morning, the dollar is trading at 17 cedis 20 pesos, the British pound at 21 cedis, the euro going for 18 cedis and 10 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and EcoBank. My name is Sni Latte. Do have a good business day.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret?
He said, "It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all."
Sharp! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
For over 60 years, Good Energy has served you top quality fuels. Goil brings you Super XP for a smooth ride. It is available in Goil stations nationwide. Goil Super XP is fortified with special additives which help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Goil Super XP is quality fuel, the ideal choice for most vehicles. Energize your ride with Goil Super XP. Wufilia, huh? Wufefi. Good energy. Yeah.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Cratchy, mommy my rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town. More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got. Dial *770# for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more, dial *770#. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
It's 16:07, and you heard the City Business News. Every day people face different emergencies: police emergency, fire emergency, medical emergency, you name it. But many Ghanaians don't know their emergency numbers. Well, here's one you'd want to remember: *770#. Yes, *770# is the new EcoBank money emergency number. It gives you instant access to loans, fund transfer, utility bill payment, airtime, data purchase, and so much more. You don't need internet for this. Just dial *770#. No need to panic in any money emergency situation. EcoBank will always come to your rescue. So dial *770# now for solutions to your money emergencies. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. They're proud to bring us the City Business News Joining us in the studio is a DDH. Gabi is here with Kickoff. Kickoff is brought to you by Polytank and Zonda. Money is difficult to come by. That's why it is even more important that you buy trusted and time-tested brands that the majority endorse when making a purchase. When it comes to storage of water in Ghana, the name we all know as far as tanks are concerned is Polytank. It's been with us for over 30 years. It's the first, the best, and certainly the original. So go for guaranteed quality. Choose Polytank. Polytank near Papa Nonier. The caution is that Polytank does not request for Momo payments online. And Zonda Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for quality trucks. We are talking about Shantui bulldozers, excavators, graders, payloaders, rollers, power pickups, TX trucks, and oil tanks. All made and proudly assembled right here in Ghana. We provide top-notch after-sales service as well for all your heavy and light-duty trucks as well as machinery needs. Visit any of our 7 branches around the country and also our head office off the Tema Aplao Road, close to the Free Zones Enclave in Tema. Call us now 050-177-2222, 050-177-3333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana. And let's say a very good morning to Gabi Affair. Good morning, brother.
Hi, Caleb.
How you doing this morning?
Oh, Charlie, I'm good. Yourself?
Nice one. I'm in good spirits as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What's kicking off this morning?
Yeah, so there's a big one happening this afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, I know it's lost a bit of interest. That's Coach Otuado is set to name his 25-man squad. I don't like the look on your face. Why?
You know what? You get into the details.
It's now a question of whether Çalhanoğlu can convert. Down the middle he goes and into the lead. Go into Milan on the stroke of half-time.
Well, welcome aboard to today's edition of Kickoff on 97.3. My name is Gabi Fair, and it was another defeat for Arsenal this time in the year for Champions League at the San Siro, and that came at the hands of Inter Milan. It's now 3 games, 0 wins for Mikel Arteta in our competitions. We'll get into the Champions League a bit later. Plus, Black Stars head coach Otuado is setting him his 25-man squad for the upcoming 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Angola and Niger in the coming days. But let's start off with the Champions League, and starting off at the Allianz Arena. Bayern Munich ended a 2-match losing run in the UEFA Champions League with a narrow win over Benfica. Jamal Musiala struck the game's only goal, giving Bayern a 67th minute lead by nodding in Harry Kane's header across the 6-yard box. We hear from Bayern boss Vincent Kompany.
I know there's always pressure in Bayern Munich, but I think we were very calm. I think that we're on a positive trend. We're scoring a lot of goals today, a little bit less, but we're having a lot of clean sheets as well at the moment. So, yeah, we were patient against a tough opponent, and I think it's a really good win. So we're very happy with that.
All right, so that's Bayern boss Vincent Kompany speaking there. Well, let's get to Belgium, and a bizarre penalty incident cost Aston Villa as they suffered their first UEFA Champions League defeat of the season at Club Brugge. We hear from Aston Villa boss Unai Emery.
Good evening. We played very good first half, and we created chances to score. We didn't score. We conceded one chances for them, but we were more or less under our control the match, and of course we knew how was our way. And the second half, the mistake changed everything, because one thing like then, here playing at home, defensive very strong, very focused, playing 100% in their idea to stop us and play and transition. They were better than us. But of course, the key was the first half and the mistake we made.
All right, so that's Aston Villa boss Unai Emery speaking after the 1-0 defeat to Club Brugge. That game was played in Belgium. Well, Shakhtar Donetsk came from behind to end their first victory in the season's Champions League and leave young boys still without a point. Well, Karim Konate scored twice and missed a penalty as RB Salzburg beat Feyenoord to get their first point in this season's Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain's winless run in the UEFA Champions League extended to 3 games as they were beaten at home by Atletico Madrid and held Correa struck in the 3rd minute of added time at the end of the hard-fought clash to snatch a victory for the Spaniards. Speaking of the Spaniards, Barcelona put 5 past Rostar Belgrade, and Robert Lewandowski continued his red-hot Scots scoring form with 2 goals as Barca and the 3rd consecutive Champions League win by thrashing Rostar Belgrade. Here's Barca boss Hansi Flick.
Today I think I'm very happy how we played. So it's also with the ball it was really good, and also we pressed very high, and we deserved also the result.
What do you think about the Red Star after the game? What do you think about the Red Star after the game now?
No, it's the same. They play football. It's this I love, and also they have really fast strikers. So it's not easy to defend that. But at the end, we are much stronger today.
All right, so big win for Barcelona. They beat Rostar Belgrade by 5-2, and last night's UEFA Champions League. Well, in the Europa League later tonight, some selected matches coming up today. Galatasaray will take on Tottenham Hotspur. Jose Mourinho is facing another former side he's managed, and that game will kick off at 5:45 p.m. Ludogorets take on Athletic Bilbao. Royal Union Saint-Gilloise is up against AS Roma. Ajax take on Maccabi Tel Aviv. Manchester United will take on PAOK, and Lazio will play FC Porto. In the Conference League, Chelsea up against Noah from Armenia, and that game will kick off at 8 p.m. Let's come down to Ghana and take you into the Accra Sports Stadium, and as renovation work continues at the venue ahead of Ghana's AFCON qualifier against Niger, the National Sports Authority is quiet on the total cost involved in refurbishing the country's national stadium. The Accra Sports Stadium is scheduled to host Ghana's final game, home game of course, against Niger in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers on November 18. We have more in the following report. We are just some few days to Ghana's final home game in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Niger on November 18. Now, today, I bring you to the Accra Sports Stadium. This is the venue that would host Ghana's final home game against Niger in the coming days. And the last time this facility actually hosted Ghana's game, be it an AFCON qualifier, was not too long. It was just against Sudan, but results did not go the way of the Black Stars. We'll talk about that a bit later. Now, let's run you through why we are here today. Now, you can see on my far left, the groundsman, 2, of course, on the pitch, trying to make sure that the playing surface is looking very good, not undulating, looking very green. And this has continued after Ghana's game against Sudan. Since Ghana's match against Sudan on October 10, 2024, the Accra Sports Stadium has not hosted any event, whether for the Ghana Premier League or other activities. Earlier reports suggested that the stadium would be reserved exclusively for national assignments. But according to the NSA board chair, that was not accurate.
When the Kumasi was taking off the template of the CAF venues for international matches, we have to dash down to Accra Sports Stadium. So in doing so, we communicated to the clubs that we already have agreement with to the usage of the Accra Sports Stadium to relocate to the University of Ghana Sports Stadium, where some of them are playing currently, to give way for us to properly maintain the Accra Sports Stadium for the international competitions.
All right, so that's a brief report from the Accra Sports Stadium. Speaking of the AFCON, that will take place at that venue. Coach Otuado will name his squad for the 2 AFCON qualifiers coming up in the next few days against Angola and Niger. The squad announcement will happen at the GFA premises later this afternoon at 12 p.m. So we'll keep you posted. That's a sport. For more, you can head to City Sports Online. Just comment on X at City Sports J2. Back later at 5 p.m. with Sports Flash on the Traffic Avenue. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Zonda JH, and Politangana, Papa Nini. My name is Gabriel Fair. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Hey, well, yo, I did tire for Abu Chef. See, everything I do, Abu won't do some. Last year, I bought a cattle farm in Yanton. I see he go buy a farm next to mine. I marry Fauzia. No, he marries Fauzia's sister. I buy my motorbike. I see, no, he go buy motorbike too.
But you know, since you buy your bike, he has bought 4 motorbikes, which have all broken down. You know, they maintain bikes at all.
His problem be say he dey put wrong lubricant for his bike inside. The correct motorbike oil where if you put inside be Shell Advanced Lubricant. Shell Advanced Lubricant be the only motorbike oil where they make them for motorbike to protect engine, clutch and brake. Wait, no. Wait me, wallahi, I no go tell him, Shell. Hey, well, but wait, where you dey go?
If you don't go tell Abu, me I dey go tell him say make you use Shell Advanced Lubricant for him bike.
Hey.
Visit any Shell station or distributor today to get your Shell Advanced Lubricant for your motorbike. Shell Advance, complete protection for your bike.
Politankinye, Papa Nunye, Politankinye, Papa Nunye,
Papa Naka Mesio, Papa Nunye Kamesio, only one Politan, strong and reliable, trusted by generation. We want the citizens to buy only Politan.
Politankinye,
Papa Nunye,
Politankinye,
Papa Nunye,
Accra Plumbers,
say so.
Guys, Charlie, you know that mining contract I've been chasing for years now. I just got awarded the deal. But the issue is where to get the right and quality heavy-duty trucks to execute this job here in Ghana.
Relax, my guy. Remember my recent construction deal at Pokwase? Zonda sorted me out.
Zonda? What? Who is that?
Zonda Tech Ghana Limited is your one-stop shop for machinery, heavy and light-duty trucks, and pickups. They have the Shantui bulldozers, graders, payloaders, rollers, Fua pickups, 4-land light trucks, TX trucks, and oil tanks, made and assembled right here in Ghana with top-notch after-sale service and standard prices.
Made in Ghana. This is amazing.
You haven't seen my Zonda Power pickup, which I take to the office? Strong, durable, and tough on our roads.
Hey, that's from Zonda too?
Absolutely. Zonda is the right place for you, my guy.
Oh, now I am sorted with Zonda. Zonda Tech Ghana Limited, your solution for heavy and light-duty trucks, located at Tema, off the Flower Road. Call 0501 772 222 or 0501 773 333. Zonda, built in Ghana, building Ghana.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
Join the Republic Verse. Enter the Republic Bank space. Online or within the banking hall, we open the right doors for you to make the most of life. With our suite of superb banking products and services, our clients, corporate, SME, investments, and individuals get to enjoy amazing benefits. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We're the one for you.
Gasaba. Smoke from firewood and charcoal is harmful and as damaging to our lungs as cigarettes. It can cause heart diseases leading to stroke and may even affect our eyesight in the long run. Grandmothers, mothers, sisters, wives, men, caterers, and everyone still cooking with charcoal, let's switch to LPG gas. The National Petroleum Authority has introduced the cylinder recirculation model in collaboration with local partners to make gas more accessible in all local communities. Whether you own a cylinder or not, join our CRM initiative. Simply show up at any exchange point near you with a small down payment to receive a filled cylinder or swap your empty one. Regular safety checks will be in place. Say Ebisa Musemo or gas. Afedia gas sabba. Switch from firewood and charcoal to gas for a better and healthier life. This message is brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy.
Hey, is that Cuckoo? Hey, you've grown into a big boy, oh.
Even Momo is 15 years old.
It still feels like yesterday when we were fumbling with cash and worrying about the way money moves.
Say it again. Now I send money to my AC in the village, pay bills, save money, loan so kakra, investment kakra, at the Momo app.
Shit. How do you think I get the small coins from my bugapa?
To celebrate 15 years of Momo, you too can win awesome prizes in the Momo at 15 Rewards promo. Just download the new My Momo app, continue to transfer and make payments, and you could be one of the 15 lucky winners of 15,000 Ghana cedis and 150 lucky winners of 1,500 Ghana cedis each. So, Ghana, keep celebrating Momo at 15. Offer runs from now till November. T's and C's apply. MTN.
This ad is not about how convenient or easy to use the Affinity app is, or how accessible and affordable our loans are, or not having to worry about monthly or transaction fees. Yes, banking without fees. This ad is about a community of entrepreneurs, individuals, young people, and you, the go-getter. And Affinity providing the necessary services and tools to help simplify daily banking tasks and grow your business easy and accessible. Because banking doesn't have to be an inconvenience. With Affinity, you're in. To get the app and apply for loans, dial *229# or go to affinityghana.com.
Hey, Mapadi, so you still haven't gotten any job in the last 6 years?
Bro, I'm even getting depressed, Charlie. If you don't have any money to get trained in any skill, Charlie, you can't survive in this economy. Even those with big degrees are sitting at home.
There's good news coming. Have you heard of the National Apprenticeship Program?
National Apprenticeship Program?
Yes, John Mahama and the NDC will be launching a National Apprenticeship Program in 2025 to offer free technical and vocational training to all persons desirous of learning a craft.
Did you say free?
Yes, free technical and vocational training in carpentry, ceramics, welding, tiling, hairdressing, vulcanizers, fashion designing, electricals, POP, catering, and many others for young people who sign on to the program. People who complete the training will also be issued a certificate and provided with a startup capital and equipment to establish their own businesses.
Hey, you don't mean it.
You shock, eh? The National Apprenticeship Program is the hope of every unemployed Ghanaian.
Charlie, then we need to kick out these liars and nation wreckers and bring back JM. Cause
Vote for change.
Vote for John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Charlie, awesome is what you see and appreciate. Switch to Samsung Galaxy A06 fast and enjoy vibrant and expanded display. Buy them now from authorized shops.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
This is Citi 97.
a little bit, just a little bit. Send fire through my spine, just a little bit, just a little bit. With just a touch of love. Can we spend some time?
So it's 7:39 Citi Breakfast Show today. A few quick birthdays coming through. Couldn't help but notice the wording of the NDC and MPP about the Trump victory. Both issue statements, both signed by general secretaries. And it's quite interesting how political parties can draw parallels and basically interpret something that happens elsewhere to be a good omen for what's going to happen here.
You mean our political parties?
Yes. So it's quite interesting. So and it's funny, the two general secretaries issued statements, and both of them were congratulating, of course, the President Trump, and they were both taking inspiration from. They were both taking inspiration from the victory.
They are all inspired.
So I just thought it was very interesting, and it's so interesting that, of course, we know Trump won as of yesterday, the 6th of November. Today is the 7th of November, exactly 1 month to our election. So what I'm going to do is later on, I'll just read the two statements, and then you can decide which of the two parties has a closer possible. Who should interpret this victory as a victory for them or a sign of their coming victory? Because of course the MPP and the Republican Party historically have been in alignment. They are right of center parties. So indeed, when they do the Conservatives Forum conferences, whether in the UK or they do, so basically parties to the right, they know themselves, and there are even think tanks which also think like that. So generally, and indeed, Ghana and US have been parallel since 92 until the 2020 elections. So from Rawlings, Clinton, Kufuor, Bush, and then of course Obama Mills, Obama Mahama, and then Trump Nanado, it's been that similar until 2020, where Akufo-Addo won but Trump lost, and then it's flipped. But the two parties are both saying, yeah, the Trump victory is a good omen for them. So we'll think about that shortly. A few birthdays coming through this morning before we get into that. Happy birthday to Ernest Akato of Mary Mother of Good Counsel. You've been my roommate, gist mate, and all the mates I can think of. As you celebrate your birthday today, may the lines fall upon you in pleasant places. May you continue to be a bright light in a dark world. Enjoy your new age. Happy birthday, my dear, from your wife, Phyllis Akato, to Ernest Akato. Please help me wish my sister a happy birthday, Theodora Moses. May this day mark the beginning of an amazing year filled with God's faithfulness and love. May his face continue to shine upon you. Enjoy your day from Justina Ewu to Theodora Moses. Special birthday wish to DSP Sinda Yamson, officer in charge, Prelas Amanfrom Camp Prisons. DSP Sinda Yamson, officer in charge, Prelas Amanfrom Camp Prison. Special happy birthday from your brother-in-law George Ewa JC at the Ministry of Finance to you.
And I'd like to say a belated birthday shouts to Enna Adia. She turned 5 yesterday, so the message is coming from her parents, Jeff and Doreen, and myself and Gina and all her friends and loved ones. So Enna, belated happy birthday to you. And today happens to be Alex Autry. Alex Autry is MD for Multi Choice Ghana. Happy birthday to you.
His name is Obruso. That's his nickname. Obruso.
Message is coming from his all the people at Multi Choice Ghana. They say your visionary leadership inspires us to do more. We wish you the
actually
very
another one
best.
coming from Primus
This one
Advertising.
is the other one is from Primus
well.
Advertising. So
Alex Autry.
Yeah, Alex Autry.
He's a very good keyboardist.
Really?
He's one of the best keyboardists I know. When we were in Lagos, used to play for Harvest.
I see.
He's a session man bruta. You didn't know, eh?
He doesn't look it.
Hey, if you put the keyboard in front of him, he will give you the keys.
Oh, then he and I, we need to be speaking
he used
more.
To play when we do mass choir events, when we do intellecto,
Oh, I need
a
to.
big man.
I need to
He's a
speak
proper
with
keyboardist.
Okay.
According to inside info, he actually has a keyboard in his office.
The guy named you Bruso. That be the name. I mean, so I see him for interview. I say, "Are you?"
This is serious. A keyboard. It's one of the things I want to do in the next chapter of my life.
Get the keyboard and put it in your office.
Have a keyboard in my office.
Yeah, to show that you're a big man. No, just get the grand piano.
The keys are too hard. I get a synthesizer.
You can exercise.
You know. Chaba, this is Alex. You are a big man. Nah, Charlie. I need to come and see you.
You used to be the choir director for Harvest.
We need to discuss.
Okay, Alaba Kiana Zoe Senam Asase of Cornerstone International Academy. May the Almighty God protect and direct you in your life endeavors. May you increase in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and men. Have the blessed one is coming in from your mother. And then also your father, Chideji.
You know that if they open a radio station, you'll be a good news editor in this
I know, right?
Charlie, you sound like the first catechist. You know, Agozi. We had a catechist, Agozi.
Madina.
Yeah, when he's doing the announcement. You sound like him.
Last weekend I was at a Presbyterian church.
Yeah.
Right? So my wife's maid of honor got married last week. Congrats to you, Dorothy and Della. And so when they came to read the announcement, and I just
classic
Charlie.
When I went,
they read it in the Krapim tree.
I said, Charlie, I was at Omani's mother's funeral at Latte. Charlie, the Presbyterian, they are strong. Charlie, there were like 6 different funerals happening. The guy preached a message and all the 6 of us were touched. There's all the 6 marriage, all the 6 families.
Wow.
And the quality of the tree.
That's right.
Oh, Missy. Oh, Lord. Oh, Charlie. You understand. It was a sight to behold. No. And the building, it was brick. Brick building, but they had projectors. And
how was the inside like? Because the last 2 or 3 weekends I've been to 2 Presbyterian churches.
So they paneled it with wood.
Yeah, I know. You know the preacher has this place he stands. So I think is it universal to all Presbyterian churches?
There was another preaching point on the top. That one is when he mounts that one. He's coming to declare the visions of God. So that one you don't mount it by heart. So today he decided to be down. Yes, and he preached a good sermon. And I just like the feeling of the church. The men's fellowship were in their group and the women were there.
Band when they are
Charlie Presby.
It's the layout because I was at Carnation Presby.
Someone was holding a bell. And so when they were doing the offering, women's fellowship. So the women fellowwip was doing boom boom boom, and one was saying crane, and the men were wearing their cloth. Charlie, no, Presby the B.
Because I went to Carnation Presby and then I went to the Redemption Presby Church at Brawi, and I noticed that the layout was the same. So I wondered if it was universal to all Presbyterian churches.
No, Presby the B.
And all its iterations.
So let me say good morning to Omani Mensa Bonsu, who sent his mother on a final journey. And this is the first time I'd gone to Latte, because I heard of Latte. I like the feel of the place. Oh my God, Latte, Charlie.
It's refreshing.
Oh man.
I wish we have some train directly to that.
Yes. Although the road, I wanted to use the Dodowa road when I was coming back, but they said I shouldn't.
Oh no, it's horrible.
So we used the Ebri one, but it should be done.
Yeah.
It should be done.
Some government
it should be done. And Latte is strategic between the Ebri Ekwapim side and the Dodowa side. So it's like a central point. And that road needs to be finished.
It's a truly beautiful place.
I'm telling you.
You go there and the feel is different.
Yeah.
The air quality is different.
And the rain fell.
The food,
my God.
fresh vegetables and all of these things.
Latte
no, Charlie.
Have you been to Latte before?
Oh. You need to arrange.
So the place I haven't been properly is Edukro.
Okay.
So
as in you've passed through.
I haven't gone. Yes. So I learned a bit about that. So apparently that constituency, Kropong, Latte, and Edukro are the 3 big centers. And I was told that Okra is not actually too far.
Yes, Okra is just there.
Which means Akosombo is not that far. Because Okra is not far from Akosombo.
No, it depends on what you call far.
Because no, the Okre constituency. There was a day I was driving from Astrojaman coming into East Region. I passed through Okre. So it's not far. But then, Dodo is far from Akusumbo. So that is confusing me.
Depends on the side you are coming from.
Okay.
Bernard.
So, Amani, good morning to you. And congrats on sending your mother on that journey.
Let me also say, read this one. This one says, who knew parenting could be this fun? That's always making me laugh. My handsome, clever, ceaselessly generous son. Happy birthday to Zane Ferguson Lane of St. Martin de Porres School in Dansoman. Lots of love from Yofi Eliora and Sean Lemuel Ferguson Lane.
And there's one quick one to Lem and Release Bansa of Cornerstone International Academy. You're 10 today and we wish you God's boundless blessings. Have a beautiful day from your dad, Richard, your mom, Judith, and your brother, S. Ellis. Let me do a few quick announcements before we get into some big issues this morning. To all female entrepreneurs, agribusiness owners, and young entrepreneurs, we see you. We understand the challenge you face. Your story matters, and APSA is here to support you every step of the way. In partnership with Mastercard Foundation, APSA is offering SME loans at an unbelievable 10% interest rate per annum. You get up to $1 million completely free collaterally, and of course, we have done this for over 1,600 businesses within the past year. And 67.3% of our beneficiaries are women-owned businesses. Walk into any APSA branch or project office. Your story matters, APSA. Now, if you're looking for free land, contact Royal Kingdom Estate. We specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. With properties in prime areas like Accra and Ibri, with land starting at 90,000 cedis. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short-term rentals. Call us on 055-755-5909 or send an email to info@Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. Join GIZ for the Greater Accra Region Network on Entrepreneurial Development and Employment Promotion Conference. It's on the theme Sustainable Solutions for Enterprise Development and Employment Solutions, the role of stakeholders. It's a 2-day event featuring hands-on workshops, expert talks, and inspiring success stories from local entrepreneurs. Now, are you an SME or MSME? Register now to showcase your business for free. It's on the 12th and 13th of November, and it's at 9:30 a.m. You can call Ben. It's on 0244-311-409.
Now, where are you going? Are you going shopping or you're buying fuel for your car? You're going to have a meal at a fancy restaurant. Whatever it is you're doing, do it with the SG Visa card because it's your best option to make payments for goods and services online or anywhere with a POS machine. To find out more, call 030-2214-314. SG Ghana, the future is you. And if you need relief because your nose is blocked or stuffed, your throat is not feeling okay, you need Lozati lozenges. 100% natural and refreshing lozenges, and there are 7 pleasant tasting flavors. They are all designed to help you feel okay, so the cough is not, the cough doesn't intensify, your nose gets relief and all of that. If you want to buy lots and lots of Lozati lozenges, go to Unicom Chemist. Call them on 0302-324-595, and this ad is FDA approved. And if you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost, Lancaster University is offering you that. They have a great faculty trained to UK standards, and you also get great skills that will help you get your dream job in no time. Visit their website lancaster.edu.gh or send an email at missions@lancaster.edu.gh or call them on 0209-607008. Lancaster University Ghana is the only British uni campus in West Africa. Let's talk about Affinity. We could go on and on and on about how great it is, but the real magic lies in the fact that there are no hidden charges, no transaction fees, no monthly fees. This is great banking if you want your money to be there and nobody will be touching it on your blind side. So you're not just getting a bank, you're getting a community that's on your side. Dial *229# to get the app or check out affinityghana.com. With Affinity, you're not just banking, you're in.
right, so time check is 7:53. Let's just hear the reaction locally to the Trump victory. And basically, I just want to find out how the parties are interpreting it. So, Caleb, MPP sent out a statement earlier.
Yes.
What did they say?
NPP congratulates its sister party, the Republican Party of the United States, and His Excellency Donald Trump for winning the U.S. general elections. The New Patriotic Party, NPP, is pleased to join the rest of the world to officially congratulate its counterpart in the United States, the Republican Party, the President-elect, His Excellency Donald Trump, and Vice President-elect, His Excellency J.D. Vance, for emerging victorious in the just-ended 2024 U.S. elections. This victory, without a doubt, is an emphatic endorsement of the vision and ideals of the Republican Party by the good people of the United States. The NPP also congratulates the United States of America for chalking yet another significant milestone in its democratic credentials following the peaceful conduct of the elections. America has once again shown the way, and we in Ghana have some useful lessons to learn from this American example, particularly as we prepare to go to the polls on December 7, 2024. It is no secret that the NPP has a long-standing close relationship with the Republican Party and shares a lot of things in common with the Republicans, including the great elephant symbol, political orientation and ideology, as we both belong to the Global Alliance of Center-Right Political Parties, the International Democrat Union, IDU. To this extent, we are excited to learn that increasingly center-right philosophies are receiving overwhelming support across the globe. It is our fervent hope that just like the United States, Ghana's Elephant Party will also emerge victorious in the December polls by the grace of God. This is so, particularly because both President Trump and His Excellency Dr. Bawumia share bold solutions for their respective countries. Once again, the NPP congratulates the Republican Party and the President-elect His Excellency Donald Trump. We wish the Trump administration the very best in their tenure of office, as the incoming Bawumia administration, by God's grace, hopes to build on the already fruitful relationship between the two political parties and nations for mutual benefits. Indeed, the elephant is the winning symbol. It ends with "It is possible," signed Justin Kodia Frimpong, General Secretary.
So that was Justin Frimpong Kodia's statement. Now, not to be outdone, Fifi Kwete also sent a statement. So, Sky, please read it for me.
So it's dated the 6th of November 2024, titled "NDC Congratulates Donald J. Trump, President-elect of the United States of America."
The John.
Yeah. Signed by Fifi, General Secretary of the party and my former member of Parliament. And it says the National Democratic Congress, NDC, extends heartfelt congratulations to President-elect of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, on his resounding victory in yesterday's election. Now, this decisive victory marks the return of the former president of the United States to the White House after just 4 years of exiting office. The development is a good omen for us in the NDC and is a sign of great things to come, given the stark parallels it presents as Ghanaians head to the polls to elect a new president on December 7. Just as Americans have chosen to reset their future with experienced leadership, we believe that Ghanaians will reject the current government's 8 years of insensitivity, corruption, and economic mismanagement. The NDC stands ready to bring stability, integrity, and renewed hope to Ghana. Signed, Fifi Fiavi Kwete, General Secretary of the party.
So you notice the emphasis. So on MPP side, the emphasis is on the ideology, the elephant, IDU. And on the NDC, it's about John coming back.
Former president.
Mm-hmm. So it's quite interesting. I want to test something. So there's two views. The view of center-right parties winning more and more, as Justin Frimpong Kodia is saying, versus the view of incumbents losing. All right. Now, what happens in every country is very different. And we're not going to necessarily say this or that. But I thought it was interesting to just check globally where the trend is. Because in some countries, they don't even have parties which are necessarily ideologically aligned in that spectrum. But there are a few countries like that. So typically Europe, Mexico, So basically, in Western democracies, you can have that, and to understand Latin America, you can look at that spectrum. So in South America, parties are very clearly demarcated on where they stand, whether they are Maduro to this side or Allende to the other side or whatever. So these are the issues, right? Is what happens in America enough of an indication, or does it portend, I think that's the word, any shift, any type of shift globally? I mean, let's take UK for example. The Conservatives have been in power since Blair left, right? So Blair has been the last surviving member of the Labour Party to be Prime Minister until Keir Starmer, right? So Starmer. So they've had David Cameron come in. They've had Theresa May briefly. I think there was also a very short Liz Truss. And then there was also Rishi Sunak. And now the Labour came forcefully. I guess NDC could then say, well, if Labour is in power, that favors us because we are on the left side, right? Of course, every country is different, but I'm just trying to see if there's enough evidence of anything. So let's go to, say, Mexico. There's a woman in charge now, right? She won a pretty resounding victory. I think it was the second round that she won it. Do we know if she's left or right? Do we know whether Mexican politics follows any particular trend? Then let's go to Brazil, right? What's happening there? Then let's look at Germany, all right? Angela Merkel left. So maybe we'll examine some of these. And by the way, in Africa, in my interview with the VOA editor yesterday, she was like, Ghana is one of the, she says it's covered 19 African elections or countries. And Ghana is one of the, in her view, the stable democracies, even in terms of delineation of ideology. Because I'm not really sure if a lot of African countries, if you look at their politics, you will say that this party is this or that.
Yeah, which is the point I was waiting to make.
Because it means that, for example, if I take Nigerian politics, I'm not very sure if I can say that PDP is left of center or if the APC is center right. It's not very clear. Even though the PDP shares an umbrella symbol.
What about the MPP? There seems to have been a significant shift.
No, but I'm saying that generally, it is still fair to say MPP is center right and NDC center left. Generally, you are right. From Kufuor's free school feeding to Akufado's free SHS, they've moved on that spectrum economically.
It's been very clear.
But you see, the spectrum is not just economic. It's also the mindset of the people in terms of their outlook to many things. All right. I get you. I get your point when you say that there's been a centralization of both parties, right? So MPP is looking very socialist. Yes, you could say that.
Yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make to you.
Yeah, but they still claim. But you see, Justin is still saying they are still a member of the IDU, and they've not been sacked from IDU.
But it's easy to gauge an ideology. The ideology is based on your policies, isn't it?
But you see, you can do.
It's not what the General Secretary says. The ideology is.
But you can be pragmatic. But somebody can also say, it's not one or two policies of a president that changes a party's decades of tradition. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can argue both ways that MPP is a right of center party, but particularly Akufo-Addo has done a lot of social interventions, which typically the Western conception of a center-right party does not necessarily do. If you take the US, they give tax breaks to big companies.
Yeah.
The Democrats would prefer to tax the rich and use the money to do something like Obamacare, right? The Republicans will not do that. So in the West, it's quite clear that those ideological differences still hold. But if you're president of a developing country and you are even a conservative, you have a development need. My point is that it plays out differently. So we cannot use the policies of the president to say that the party has left that tradition.
But the way our party systems work, the policy of the president is the ideal of the party. Our parties have not been built. They have not been designed purely on the platform of this is our everlasting ideology. So we've had a lot of very strong personalities who lead these parties, who fund these parties, who guide these parties. So their personal beliefs become that of the party, which is why I looked at the MPP and currently I think there's been,
they are not manifesting as a center-right party.
Not,
you don't think so?
To the best of my knowledge.
Let's hold that thought. We'll come back and deal with it. I think it's a very interesting thought as to which of the two parties has a better claim of the Trump victory in terms of what it means for them, and on a more serious note, whether in manifesting their governance there's a clear policy consistency. I think it's a very important question you raised. We'll deal with that.
Yeah, take a look at the manifestos.
Good. So we'll deal with that. Let me pay some bills. It's 8:04. Tech and Social Media Trends is next. Caleb will tell us who's sponsoring.
Yes, First Bank and Telecel. First Bank says that the First Bank Ghana SME Fair is on at our Atomic Junction branch from now to Friday, November 1, that's gone. But then we are also going from 4th to the 8th. First Bank SME Fair. We are moving to Santa Maria branch, Blue Kiosk Junction, Tema Community 1. We are near the Market Square. At Spintex, we are near the Allied Oil Filling Station. And at Dasuman, we are near the market. If you visit any of these branches, you will enjoy free eye screening and coconut while you shop. Number to call is 0531 072 643. First Bank Ghana, you first. And Telecel says, get connected for less with our discounted MiFi device at an unbeatable price of only 500 Ghana cedis, and also get 10 gigabyte free data for all your internet connectivity concerns. This portable Wi-Fi solution from Telecel has you covered, perfect for seamless browsing, streaming, and staying connected on the go. Don't miss out on this limited time offer from Telecel today. Visit any Telecel retail shop to grab yours today. Telecel, connecting energies.
All right, so Nathan, let's get a trend.
All right, let's get into that. And Trump wins the White House is trending as a consequence of the election in the U.S. So related themes: America, Kamala, hashtag USA election 2024, Pennsylvania, LGBTQ. All of these things are trending because Donald Trump has won. So that the main idea of Trump winning has given birth to all these other trends that are there. I'm sure we'll see this for a few more days, and then maybe when Trump gets sworn in, it will come up in the trends again. So yesterday, Kamala Harris also put out her statement conceding defeat and all of that. So that's also equally in the trends. On the sporting side, let me start with some basketball. And in the NBA last night, the biggest game was at the TD Garden between the Celtics and the Warriors. So Celtics are the defending champions. Warriors are the champions from 2 or 3 years ago. And the Warriors came out victorious. They won 118 to 112.
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors, yes. Led by Steve Kerr. Now, there was a bit of a subplot to that game. You know the USA won men's gold.
Yes.
Now, one of the Celtics players, Jason Tatum, he was on the team, but he didn't get a lot of minutes. The team was coached by Steve Kerr, who is Golden State Warriors' head coach. So the Celtics fans felt that, it was a night where they wanted to stick it in, but unfortunately, Kerr's Warriors came out winning. Staying with football, Barcelona is trending. They won 5-2 at Red Star Belgrade last night. Barca fans are happy, except that they are very displeased with a player called Gerard Martin.
Right.
Gerard Martin, according to the Barca fans, he played poorly last night and they didn't understand why.
So they still won 5-2.
Yes, Hansi Flick selected him anyway, so they are very unhappy with that. And so other things, the name or the word statue is trending. I'm sure we all know why.
Oh, yes. Statue is trending. What are people saying?
So the president yesterday put out a statue, they unveiled a statue of himself at the Fian Quanta Hospital. And people are talking, or people are commenting. Somebody says, look, a simple flyover, you couldn't do it, but you've gone to build a statue for yourself. Why? People are comparing. So somebody, there are two pictures. One, Statue of Liberty, and the other one, which is the Kufado statue, they tagged it the Statue of Hardship. Charlie, sorry.
Charlie.
So those are some of the things. Alban Badman is also trending. Black Stars is also trending as well. And our very good friend from Equatorial Guinea is still in the trend.
Oh, no.
Balthazar Ngonga.
A bang. A bang.
To the corporate woman, sealing deals on the move. Indeed, there's a business in every woman. Introducing Telecel Women in Business, our initiative to empower women-led and women-owned enterprises. Benefit from tailored activities, networking, business and technical support, free webinars, trainings, and more. To join this initiative, be a female-led business and a Telecel business customer. Visit telecel.com.gh/business to register now.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
From the classroom to the lab, from the village to the city, the NPP's commitment to education is building a brighter Ghana. Free SHS isn't just about free tuition, it's an investment in Ghana's future. We have topped it up with free TVET and STEM education, skilled graduates, innovative thinkers, and a thriving economy. That's the promise of free SHS.
3 of my cousins have benefited from free SHS since 2017. One has graduated and is in nursing training. The other 2 are also in the university. I'll vote number 1. I'll vote for Baumia on December 7th.
We are building a better tomorrow through education. Vote NPP. Vote number 1. Vote Baumia. Baumia means business. Estro.
Another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Fortune spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast. It's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread. Delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, put your phones in the air. Hey, wave your awesome cameras. Why the party, babe? You awesome like Samsung Galaxy. Hey, get out the way, get out the way. Make way for the boss. Get out the way. You need long-lasting battery life for this party. Take a picture, my sister. Boss. Choose a phone like a boss. Show me your Samsung Galaxy. Baby, till this morning. Boss. my sister. Choose a phone like a boss. Show me your Samsung Galaxy A. Then a baby mommy. Get out the way. Make way for the boss.
Where did you Sankofa natural spices. Emma Boniade. Sankofa natural spices. Emma Kwamu. Sankofa natural spices. DDE. Sankofa natural spices. Unia a natural. Sankofa natural spices. Proudly Ghanaian. Natural.
This advert is FDA approved.
You can now try our chicken, beef, and pepper spices.
MSMEs power over 70% of Ghana's GDP and employ 85% of its workforce. Yet they continue to face challenges like limited access to credit and essential skills. Join GIZ for the Greater Accra Regional Network on Entrepreneurial Development and Employment Promotion Conference, themed Sustainable Solutions for Enterprise Development and Employment Promotion, the role of the Union of Stakeholders. This two-day event features hands-on workshops, expert talks, and inspiring success stories from local entrepreneurs. Are you an SME? Register now to showcase your business for free. Date, 12th and 13th November, 2024. Venue, Kofi Ohene Konedu Hall, UPSA, Accra. Time, 9:30 a.m. daily. For more information, call Bernice at 0244 311 409.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleash.
In Ghana, and what does it bode for our election? Since 92, there's been a parallel between our elections. That trend was backed in 2020. Is it going to continue? Send us a comment, but let's get into some quick announcements.
Yes, if you're ready to take control of your career, join Absa Bank Ghana's free ready-to-work webinar titled Navigating the Job Market on Thursday, 14th November 2024. We'll be live on Absa Bank Ghana's Facebook and YouTube channels at 11 a.m. Learn from experts as they share valuable insights on job search strategies, developing a winning CV, current interview techniques, and career development. Don't miss this opportunity to gain the skills and knowledge you need to succeed. Your story matters, Absa. And we are thrilled to announce the return of your favorite Coca-Cola original regular taste of 300 ml glass bottle. You can now buy and enjoy the refreshing taste of Coca-Cola with the convenience of returning your glass bottles for reuse. Dive into a world of flavors with Coca-Cola, Fanta, and Sprite, all offered in the iconic 300 ml returnable glass bottle at the magical price of 3 cedis, 50 pesos. For those who prefer a different twist, your favorite Coca-Cola drink is also available in a 300 ml recyclable PET bottle priced at 6 cedis. For more details on this campaign and activation schedule, visit our social media pages, Instagram and Facebook at Coca-Cola_GH. Experience real magic with Coca-Cola's original taste. And IOCO, that's the Economic and Organized Crime Office, in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service, is organizing its first nationwide essay competition for students from Basics 4 to 9 and Senior High School. The essay topics for Basics 4 to 6: write a 14-line poem, that is a sonnet, on one of the following topics: human trafficking, cybercrime, and money laundering. From Basics 7 to 9, how can social media exposure and the threat by cyber criminals affect the Ghanaian child? Your word limit is 400 to 500 words. For senior high school students, discuss the way forward for Ghana on the impact of youth unemployment and organized crime. This question, or this one: examine human trafficking and its impact on Ghanaian youth and propose solutions to address this issue. Your word limit is not less than 600. All entries should be submitted to the various heads of schools for onward submission to the Schools and Instructions Division of the Ghana Education Service, Accra, or IOCO via ioko@ioko.gov.gh by 21st November 2024. Students should add their names and contact details. Call or WhatsApp 057 970 9077 for more details. Let me wish my good friend Selam Jabba, better known as Selam Dreammaker, a very, very happy birthday. Selam is an interior designer. She's good at what she does. Today's her birthday. Join all your friends to wish her a happy birthday.
I want to say a very good morning to the folks at Horseman Shoes. I got a surprise yesterday when they sent me 2 beautiful pairs. And I just want to say, yes, and so this I want to say to people: if you need a good shoe to wear, go to Horseman Shoes. You just Google Horseman Shoes, you get very nice pairs. I've been wearing their shoes since 2011, and I've not regret. Actually, since 2010. I've been wearing Horseman Shoes since 2010.
Richard Sky, did you hear what he said?
Yes, Horseman Shoes since 2010.
Mention the name a third time.
I'm hearing it.
Horseman Shoes. No. Sky. This is consistent with Citi. Sky, this is consistent with Citi. We promote made in Ghana.
No problem.
We promote
part of the Citi brand. It's Godfrey Akoto, not part of the Citi brand.
No, but what is
you have been wearing this thing since 2011.
Yes.
Is Nita Ubudai Kwayo not part of the Citi?
Oh, you're talking about being part of it.
What's the name? Caleb Kuda not part of the Citi brand.
No, this is for my Ghana.
Didi Abeku is also there.
This is for Galamsey. You don't like emceeing programs. You're always in court. You don't need shoes like that. The ones I need.
So as he has 2 massive cases before the Supreme Court, he shouldn't show up with Horseman Shoes at the Supreme Court.
Horseman shoe. We don't take part in politics.
for maybe Yoni Kulendi JSC to look at Sky Shoes and say, gentlemen, that is some nice shoes.
No, the brand is politically agnostic, so we just prefer.
But still, now that's still the court. Now Supreme Court will remove a better shoe.
So I've done a little check.
What have you done? Tell
me.
You
know, when we read Justin Kodia's statement, he identified with Trump's victory for MPP because they are center-right parties. All right. So generally, the NDC is closer to the Democratic Party, and the MPP is closer to the Republican Party. Yeah. So Rawlings was in power when Clinton came to Ghana in 98. I was there to see this. I was in SSS 3. Kufuor had a very good relationship with George Bush. The Millennium Challenge program was a Bush project with Kufuor in mind, and we got a lot of money from that. When Obama became president, the first country he chose to come to was Ghana because his victory aligned with Mills, who was also then NDC flag bearer and then won. So the first country in Africa he came to was Ghana. And of course, his second term coincided with Mahama. So that trend continued even till 2016 when Akufo-Addo from a center-right party won and Trump became president of the US. The first time that correlation was reversed was in 2020. And you can say COVID was a reset. Trump lost, Akufo-Addo won. So for the first time, the elephant was not in charge of both countries. So now that Trump has come back and Akufo-Addo is not on the ticket, it's flipped. The person who is the incumbent vice president of the Republic of the Democrats is basically Kamala, right?
Yeah.
She's running on the record of her boss, who happens to be Joe Biden. And of course, Bawumia is running essentially on the record of his boss.
Is he?
Akufo-Addo. So you can
Is he?
Generally.
No.
Okay, maybe let me qualify that.
But the both of them
No.
tried to
Okay,
distance themselves from
no. Let's call it.
their legacy.
He's running on the good aspects of his boss's accomplishments
and
then proposing solutions that seek to improve or distance from the bad ones. So, for example, that's how you see it. So, for example, when he talks about free SHS and how he will preserve it, he is basically talking about Akufo-Addo's achievement. When he talks about
E-levy.
no, not E-levy. When he talks about, for example, the credit scoring system that he's going to do, he's recognized the issue of lack of access.
His entire stance on taxation,
yes,
is completely different.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That so on the achievement. So that's the Kamala problem as well, right? If you're an incumbent vice president,
that's why I'm trying to correct you. You can't say Bawumia is running on the achievements.
You are being
president.
detailed. I'm making a broad stroke. What I'm trying to say is that Kamala is a vice president running on the record of the party that she is essentially the vice president of. In addition to whatever new things she wants to do. It's the same for Bawumia.
And Bawumia is running away from
not necessarily. If you take some of the things he says about what this government has achieved, he owns it. What he does is that he says that there are things that they did that were not so good. He will do different. So it's a nuanced position. No. You see, you are even diverting my attention.
Okay, you continue.
I'm trying to paint a broad stroke for an analytical purpose.
I understand you.
So Kamala
apologies for
is
getting in the way.
Vice president running on a party that has been in power. Of course, it's just 4 years. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia is 8 years. So there's a difference there. Now, John Mahama is a former president coming back, who is basically coming back to finish his second term. And it's the same as Trump. So when you read the two letters that were read, the NDC is basically saying Trump is back. It means that there's a space for a former president to come back to finish an unfinished job. You take inspiration from that. MPP is saying that the Republicans have won, and then they even make the claim that this marks a sort of endorsement of the shift to parties which are right of center. Now, I can agree with the first part, but the second part is not borne out by the facts. So do a cursory check of, let's start with Western countries. United Kingdom is now being led by the Labour Party. Labour Party is ideologically to the left. So that's not true for Labour. Germany has a coalition. It was a coalition of Social Democrats, another group of Democrats, and a Green Party. So the current German president is from a Social Democrat party. So again, you can't say that Germany is led by a right, it's the left. Go to Canada, Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, he's center left.
He's center left. If you go to Mexico now, the election was held in June. She won in October. She's a left person.
Yeah.
Maybe we can pick other countries. I don't know. Africa is not a very good place to use because African countries probably it's a different history. South Africa, for example, is not even necessarily ideologically. It's more history, race. Yes. Although you can say the ANC is the Workers' Party, right? Because COSATU is a very strong part of ANC. So if you take COSATU out of ANC doesn't exist. So you can say ANC is some type of leftist, but it's very difficult.
It seems to have lost that particular type.
To the Malema guys and those things.
Yes.
Now, Brazil, Lula is back. Bolsonaro is
gone.
Right. Bolsonaro is more Trump. Right? He was seen as a fascist guy, and he's lost in a narrow election to Lula, who's left. Now, what I'm trying to ask this morning is it even reasonable to think about a wave? Because don't forget, guys, that when Trump originally came into office, the media made an analysis of a lot of, at the time they described them as right, almost fascist governments. All right. So Hungary, Austria's, and then even France, Le Pen. Okay. So generally, when something like Trump emerged in 2017, there was a lot of fear that it will embolden a lot of right-wing political parties to also sort of emerge. Generally, right-wing parties are seen to be anti-immigration, and they manifest in different names and different titles. Now, Godfrey, let me pick your view here. Which of the two political parties in Ghana do you think has a legitimate claim to anything with this Trump victory?
Anyway,
it's a funny question.
I don't see it
for either.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just clutching at straws.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them. We should just, you see, because I do not think our politics has been driven by ideology for a very long time.
At all.
Yes.
Wow.
If I am to engage the average NPP loyalist on a conversation about whether your party is to the center of left, to the center of right, I am sure the person will ask you, what are you talking about? Okay. The party does not train its members in that light. It does not recruit in that light. None of the two parties recruit in that light. Okay, so the attraction of persons to the party is heavily personality driven. A certain level of policy driven as well. But if you look at the core of the policies, they tend to be they're very flexible. Okay, so to suit the circumstances that.
So what's the difference? What's the difference between our two parties? Is there a difference?
I think, as at 1992, there was a very clear difference. By 2004,
it had gone.
I think that
started going.
They are the same.
So beyond their ethnic basis,
yeah, they are the same.
That's quite interesting. So you don't think that an MPP government manifests itself in a way that is different from an NDC government?
Not necessarily.
So
that's how I see it.
Let me read some theory.
You can ask others about this.
So for those who want to get this clearly, so if a party is center right, they generally support what's called a liberal democracy and capitalism, or what is called the market economy. So they basically allow competition to determine who wins a bid. So government will not necessarily own. So for example, if they want to exploit a mineral for a country, they would open it up and say, let the highest bidder win. They put it to the market as against forming a parastatal to run it. They respect what's called private property rights. All right. And they have what is called a limited welfare state. All right. A welfare state is where the state wants to pay your health insurance, they want to pay your school fees. Now, Godfrey is right, because the Democrats in the US, they believe in welfare states. So Obamacare is an example of this. If you look at free SHS, it is completely to the left. It's not a policy that a center-right party would pursue. Okay. Now, you can argue the same for NDC. NDC claims to be liberal Democrat or social democrat. So, this is a really mixed social market economy. A broad welfare state, public ownership of utilities, the lower economic inequality, and a limited role for the market. All right. But that doesn't mean they don't use the market. So it's almost like the opposite of the, yeah. But again, somebody say, well, under NDC, they did the diverse teacher implementation committee, and they divested state ownership from collapsing state institutions and basically give it to private people to run, which seems opposite to what a social democratic party would do. They would probably generally would have had some role of the state in it. So Godfrey's point is that the two political parties don't really stay true to what they claim to do. All right. Now, that's a problem for me, because you need consistency in your offering for you to be a different alternative for people. Now, if people cannot differentiate you on the basis of your policy coherence, and it's just because we are green or blue, that is not necessarily good for your country. Do you follow me? So if a young NDC supporter or young baby, so yes, Mahama, Bawumia, but why Mahama, why Bawumia? Do they know the difference in orientation? And is this manifested in any consistent policies? We are struggling. You know, and what is making this even worse is that if you go across the African continent, Ghana is actually living probably better than most of the countries. Because we don't see the politics of African countries showing any consistency in terms of how they manifest their policies. You know, and I don't know whether it's because we are not advanced yet or those ideologies are Western in orientation. Maybe let me ask briefly about the Asians. Do the Asian countries have, okay, their policy is different from ours.
Very.
So they don't follow these kinds of things. So it's a problem. Sky, what do you think? NDC, MPP, left, right, are they the same mother, different father?
I honestly do not think that the current trend reflects these ideological thinking that you may have. It may have been the founding dictum, but over time there's a shift, it would seem. Of course, you still see traces of that in some of the things that they do. So, for instance, the NDC's decision to go heavy on distributing footwear to students and all the things that they did in that particular space would lean largely towards that. And then also the later attempt to bring a lot more youth to come and do jobs within certain spaces. You know, all these GDAT.
These youth employment things.
Exactly. Would reflect that kind of thing.
My MPP too does the same now.
Yeah, that's right. But again, if you reverse it, then you look at what they did with the economy. They attempt to, encourage a lot more people to build their own businesses. This whole idea of one district, one factory, giving incentives to people, hopefully that they would go and build factories that will serve all of us. I mean, that's an attempt to encourage private sector investment and all of that. So, to some extent, you see traces of that. But as to whether they are pure and true to the cause, I do not think so.
You don't think that too. So beyond their base, where they get their support from.
And also, I think it's also largely because we are not as sophisticated. Like, I don't think the average Ghanaian really cares about where his next meal is coming from, whether it's from the left of the center or the right of the center. It's so much to do with the fact that, look.
So are we saying ideology is not important?
I don't think to the average Ghanaian they think they even understand what it is.
What about the average Ghanaian elite? Forget about the Ghanaian. The people who lead the parties, are they not? Because I thought that in a society, people should have a certain look. You have a way in which you think journalism should be done. So there's a certain mindset that you come to journalism from. So if you see a certain manifestation of journalism, no, this is not the way I do my work. So there are some media houses you cannot work for because you don't understand the way they work. Now, if you bring that to politics, should there not be? Because you need to, for example, some people believe that the government is the best allocator of resources when it comes to education. So the government must have a strong role in providing educational infrastructure and educational resources. Some people think no, the government should provide the right policy environment and get private people to take part and take the lead because the market is ultimately the best decider of that. And they've debated it, they've written about it, they've defended it, and for years they believe it. Now, are you saying that 30 years is not enough to develop a certain consistency around healthcare provision, education, road infrastructure? I'm disappointed that we don't seem to have any clear difference in view about anything, whether it's for infrastructure or for economic development. It's problematic. So what have we been discussing for the past 30 years?
Well, maybe you see it in some other iterations where there is some form of private capital development, but it is to the benefit of cronies within the system. So maybe that argument...
So we do crony capitalism.
Yeah, so crony capitalism is really big.
We do capitalism for our friends.
Exactly, for our friends. But as to whether it is for the collective good of, the people who believe in the cause and who should be served is an entirely different matter. Because I honestly do not see it. I don't
Caleb,
see
as a young person who came from a university, did you know the difference between NDC and MPP? Of course, we know the colors are different.
Yeah.
We know that their emblems are different. But when you left Legon and started working, Wait, did you understand the difference between the two parties?
But let me answer you from what Imani has done on the manifestos of the two parties.
Wonderful.
Right? Because they tell you that, for example, the number of promises within the NDC and NPP, they're within the 500s. And a lot of them are vague. And then if you compare, some of them are even, in terms of some of the issues, they're even promising the same things. Okay, so whereas if you listen to the Republican Democrats, you hear issues about someone taking a stance on abortion, someone against it, someone LGBTQ, someone doing business and all. If you come here, if you look at the NDC NPP manifestos, so Bawumia says he's going to abolish betting tax. Mahama says he's going to do same. This one will abolish e-levy. This one says he will do same. Bawumia says he will do SME bank. NDC says they will do women's bank. And if Mani tells you that these two are not even necessary, because for example, if the both of them say they are abolishing the e-levy, the e-levy has contributed about 1% to our GDP. How are you going to replace that? You don't get the sense of this is the ideology that is informing this. If you listen to the parties and their manifestos and their programming and communication, it's more what to get us votes. So
like
I think the ideology,
a bag of promises.
Exactly. So the ideology is more for the intellectual conversations when the parties meet at their cadre levels. Because when you go for their congresses and all, nobody's talking about ideology.
So how do they govern then? What determines?
They govern as they go.
Yes. Pay as you go.
Govern as you go.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh. But is it? Are you serious?
But the confusion and the confusion and the lack of clarity stems from the examples you gave. That parties that hitherto or claimed were leaning one way or the other have started doing things that the other would.
So basically anything that wins votes.
So it's anything really that wins votes. Because when you read the manifestos, and like Caleb said, when you go through the manifesto from 2012 till now, it's just a document filled with, of course, the first few pages will say, oh, we are this type of party, blah, 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 blah. But when you go through the things they promise, it's leaning, every promise leans in one direction or the other.
So let me ask you, did Imani's analysis show the uniqueness of the manifestos?
So yes, they tell you, we try to get them to actually drill things down to the details. They tell you, for example, that in terms of connectivity, connecting the promises that they've made to the central governance, they thought that the NPP's manifesto was a bit more clearer. It was more connected. The issues they approach to, or the solutions they are offering Ghanaians are more connected. But if you are looking at clarity and detail, who is telling us how clearly they are going to do what, they thought that the NDC offered a manifesto that was much clearer to understand. But in terms of the delivery, the timelines to the promises, and even the costing of some of the policies or promises that they were making to Ghanaians, they did not cost them, and there were no timelines, so they were really vague.
So one was easier to understand,
yes.
One was easier possibly to implement.
Yes, one was more detailed.
Did they see contradictions?
I can bet my bottom CD that the manifestos that are easier to understand are the ones from the opposition.
I think so.
And
I
the
think
ones,
yeah,
again, for example, if you take the NPP's 2016 manifesto, when you read it, the clarity is there. You can understand what they want.
So in opposition, you have
it's
clarity.
easier, you see, because you are not. There's no pressure. Right, you can clearly see a problem. There's no pressure of solving it at the moment. So
some of the promises are repeated. They carry forward the promises.
Are there contradictions? So, for example, if you take one party's manifesto and they say they'll do something, but internally it maybe is against another thing they say they'll do, or they didn't get to that point.
I didn't get that, but I think that just responding off the top of my head, there's one point that everyone is looking for clarity from both parties, and it's with the free SHS thing.
On what they will do to improve it.
Because whereas the NDC says they are going to reform it, the NPP says review it. That's what they say.
But
the NPP says...
What do they mean? I mean,
exactly.
Because it has to be... It should not be just throwing words about. If you say you review something, reform review.
I wanted to hear what the NPP said about it.
Now the NPP is also telling us that they are going to maintain it, but they are going to restructure it, take a second look at how to
is that not
which is the same thing people have been saying. So it's one of the arguments people have been raising, that Dr. Bawumia, if you say that you are going to take a second look at the free SHS, I mean, you've been around and people have proffered all the solutions that can make it more watertight. So why have you not done anything about it? So when it comes to the free SHS, if you listen to both parties, it's obvious everyone is saying they are going to maintain it for the fear that they will lose votes if they touch it in a way that the people will not like. But then if they say they are going to reform, we are not sure what they mean they are going to do. So you find Dr. Duchum come to tell us that any government that rushes to abolish the double track system will find itself in jeopardy because we've not had all the structures to absorb all the numbers that we've had since we opened.
So Sky, for you, we shouldn't judge parties on manifestos. We judge them on how they govern.
Yeah, that's
because manifesto is just like a wish list.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you want to assess a party's ideology, look at what they've done in the past.
Yeah, because they don't obey the social contract they signed with us.
They don't.
They don't. They don't. I mean, don't tell me that when you come, you are going to deepen, digital footprints across the whole of Ghana and ensure that people become, literate in the space, they invest in the space, and Ghana is run on the basis of the new age. Yet you take a policy decision that stifles growth within that space. E-levy, for instance. It just doesn't make sense because what the state is doing is to take private capital, which otherwise could have been used to grow the economy in many respects. For me, myself, or for people who I would invest in. The government has done that. People
undermine the digital.
The whole, exactly. You would also look at what happened in the Rawlings era. Of course, these are people who ideally would believe that, let us collective ownership. Let us own this, let's run it together for the good of all of us. But when they were transitioning, and then when they were in power, properly so-called, they sold many of the assets that we collectively own together, or they ran them poorly.
To private people.
And sometimes divested some of them to people who were close to them.
But don't forget that some of these policies are also endorsed by Bretton Woods. So I think that's a very important point to make, that economically, the two parties are not able to veer off too much from the prescriptions of the programs that they sign up to because of their fiscal problems. So usually there's a bucket of solutions that the IMF will give you. And if you look at the past 20 years, they haven't really moved away from that type of thing. So I'm not sure whether that's also part of the reason why African countries have not been able to clearly delineate their policy. Some people say I'm discussing first world problems, but I think it's important to have policy consistency.
Yeah, but maybe where we are, as I said earlier, we are not sophisticated enough to even.
Are you sure?
I think so. Maybe just because the developed world. The American people can afford to do that. They've been running their democracy for how long?
No, you see, it's not like they can afford to do that. What you see, it's the consistency that brings the development. So if you don't do it. So we are not. It's not like a luxury that when you finish developing you think about. It's the consistency in governance that helps you to develop.
Can we afford the purity of capitalism?
I don't.
So that, and I'm not even saying we should do capitalism. What I'm saying is that, look, China. The guy says I'm pragmatic, but he was consistently pragmatic. You get? He said, I don't believe in left or right. If it's a mouse, can it catch him? If it's a cat, can it catch a mouse? So it means it works. So my question is, but even therein, there is an ideology that it has to work for the people. You get me? So China has gotten where it's gotten to because they realized that we can use the best of both worlds. They send some of their experts to the Western countries. They also train some of their best people in their own country. But there's a certain delivery of consistency. Okay. So I am not here asking that NDC and NPP should be ideology. They are the ones who call themselves by that. What I'm saying is that there has to be internal consistency in the way you govern. There has to be something that guides your actions, that can let us differentiate you beyond. Because if you say people shouldn't do ethnicity, or they shouldn't vote based on religion, what should they vote based on? They should base on your delivery. Now, how do we judge you? There must be a certain consistency in what you deliver and the way you deliver it. Do you understand my point? So if you say people shouldn't vote on ethnicity, then you have to ask the parties to show us a blueprint for how they govern. And if they only govern to give money to their friends, that's not a proper blueprint for development. So please don't misunderstand me when I push the ideology. I'm not saying that they should go and be left of center or right of center. I'm saying that
for something.
You have to have a certain worldview because that's what brings development. It's the best idea that wins. Now you can say that when it comes to technology, we'll use the market approach, but when it comes to education, we use the government approach because for the education, so many people are left behind that if we leave the market, people will not get to go to to school. But you can say that when it comes to technology, because of its importance as a multiplier, we can have a market approach to technology because government doesn't have the resources to invest in. So we can say for our telcos, we are going to allow the best competition to work by education. But I'm saying that it must be delineated. The reason must be given. You get it? But if you pick and choose and you do what you like on the basis of friendship and you flippantly, you get it. You can't say that we are not sophisticated. It is that which brings us development. And if we don't govern, look, even companies have rules that they operate by, right? If you are going to run a business, there are procedures to follow. If a country cannot have a consistent system of governance in relation to what a party stands for, how are you going to overtake anybody? Caleb, I'm coming back to you.
Yes. So Bernard, I just wanted to bring a point from yesterday. There was the Farmers Forum, which ADB organized together with the Ministry of Agric. Right? Yes. So good morning to my friends at ADB. Now, there were, on the panel I moderated, there was one Ransford Kweku Otopa Atiemo. He is a chief. He's a commercial farmer.
Thank you.
And then there was, from the policy side, we had the deputy director at the Directorate of Crop Science, Mr. Kingsley Kwekwamoako. Now, the chief's worry is that as a commercial farmer, the government provides subsidy on fertilizers to small-scale farmers.
Look at that.
And he, as a commercial farmer, does not get the subsidy.
Because he has only one vote.
Well, no, because then... But the point is that they feel that the government should be giving them...
Because they are the ones who can bring the transformation.
And we are looking at climate-resilient farming solutions.
100%.
And they felt that for the kind of investments that you require for climate resilient farming, you need to do that at a certain commercial level. And that if you go investing in large scale irrigation, greenhouses and all that, the small scale farmers won't give you that leverage in terms of even providing food security and all of that. Yes. So focus on the commercial farmers, give them the tractors, give them the subsidy on the fertilizers and all of that. Then
I agree with him, but you know why?
Then Mr. Adakwa comes to make an interesting point just before you come in. He says that from his point as someone who's sitting where he is
in the crop science department.
Exactly. If you support the small scale farmers, the peasant farmers, the multiplier effect in reducing poverty and providing
they
food
reach
for
more
household,
people.
it reaches more people. And then he even says that for a lot of the commercial people, one of the suggestions was that, look, give us the farm implements, the resources as commercial farmers, and then we have these peasant farmers as outgrowers. We give them these implements and all. But his point a bit later was that sometimes too, when you focus so much on these commercial people, they can, hoard some of the things and not even release it. So we have an interest in building an economy where commercial farmers can export some of these things because they grow them on large scale, but then things may not necessarily trickle down.
So how did you guys resolve it? How did you resolve this on the panel?
It was a very heated panel, Bernard. At the end of the day, the conversation also was that there must be a balance. So, and I'm bringing that into this ideology conversation where we say this is NPP, it's a property owning democracy. We are center this one is that. But at some point when you take over and you see the needs of the people, you realize that, okay, how many elites do you have? Some of the policies you want to roll out, how many people can truly afford it, for example? So if you are talking about digital penetration, for example, mobile telephony and all that, there are situations where you may have to stagger prices of some of the things. You may have to take internet to some places and reduce the cost because the people may not even have sophisticated phones. But when you come to the cities, for example, how do you roll out the 5G in a way that those who are rich can access it, and then those who are poor, how do we do that? Do you get blend?
I like your agric conundrum, and I think I sort of understand the government official, even though initially I agree with the farmer, because you see, as you said, if you're a government who has 2,000 farmers who are poor, and then you have maybe 20 commercial farmers who can help your country become competitive, what problem are you trying to solve? Now, you could say you want to reduce poverty. So it's better to allow the small-scale farmer to have a continuous supply of fertilizer cheaper so he can feed his family. But if you want to create wealth, you want to focus on a commercial farmer who is using high-level implements, who will then manage the process with a small-scale farmer. So, but sometimes and this is where politics is not such a great thing, because if you are just trying to solve a problem for the farmers and you genuinely want to solve it, you could have a meeting of minds where you can say, we'll work through the commercial farmers, but these are the protocols for managing the outgrowers.
Right.
But when the government goes to share that fertilizer, he's also going to get votes.
Yeah.
So he will say, there's a dry spell, we have 2,000 farmers, we're going to give each of them a bag of fertilizer.
Yeah.
And by the way, remember that we gave it to you, so when you go to the post, vote for us.
for us.
So maybe I agree with Sky then that we are in a stage of development where the politics doesn't even help us. Because once you start adding politics to your development interventions, you are not going to be optimal, right? Because optimally, what you needed to do was probably to pick 10 commercial farmers, give them the fertilizer, and let them sign a contract that they will manage 20 small-scale farmers each.
Yeah.
That's the proper optimal thing to do. But what is good to do to win votes is to probably go and share the fertilizer and brand it and give it to the 2,000 people. So in our sense, politics messes up optimal allocation of resources. So they are not even committed to market or private sector. They are basically committed to winning elections. And if you are committed to winning elections, a system like that cannot bring. So in a way, our politics actually what interferes with our development, because it then gives our politicians the impetus to take suboptimal decisions. I'm speaking from an economics point of view. So how do we get out? We can't also abolish politics. We can't abolish politics. How do we get out? Because I think that's where our problem is. If you take China, when you talk to China, they say they have a democracy. They don't do NDC, MPP, but they vote, don't they?
Yeah.
The people they vote for, they belong to the same party, but they are different people. I know so. So for them, the democracy that works for them is that the country is at a stage where we don't need this 4-year, 8-year merry-go-round like the US. So they prefer continuity. The party is at the heart of national development. And yet people make a choice between who to choose for local governance and local assembly. Now, I think that one of the things we need to do as a country is to think about our system well and ask ourselves, if the 30-year duopoly is not working, how do we create a system that works for us? Okay, my worry is that in Africa, we like people to endorse what we do. So when we start something and people start frowning on it, we say, oh, this is not good. It's not democratic. It's not the way to go. But democracy is based on people's lived experiences.
A good example for you is what Henry Cote tried to do.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
So we have a city that is choked, is congested, we need to clear it and all that. But then in doing so, then the party also comes in. So if the party has an ideology that we are going to have a clean city, I don't know how they will call it, but a green
objective.
Yes, we are doing resilient cities, green cities, and all of that. Then you find someone who is a strong man, who is able to bring all the stakeholders together. Let's get this done. But in the interest of some partisan people, that collapses the whole system. Then it tells you that it's idealistic to do an ideal party.
So the politics is actually the impediment to good leadership.
Basically.
So the question is, do you stop it, or you find a way of making it work? Because you see, there are some things you can't. So this is how I see it. It's easy to see that the way we do our politics doesn't work, but that doesn't mean you should stop politics. But is there a better way of doing politics? And then number two, can voters reward people who do better politics? Do you get it? This is how I see it, because politicians believe in reward and punishment. Now, you have a very good opportunity, which is why maybe voting for local government is a good thing.
Yeah.
So imagine Henry Cote was a mayor of Accra, voted for.
Yeah.
Where people can see what he's doing in terms of bringing order to Accra.
Yeah.
He may affect some people who may not like him.
Yeah.
But if collectively, we the people who say he's doing well, say, Charlie, for MC of Accra, we like Henry Cote's approach because we can see the development.
Yeah.
He will probably win. He may even be in opposition.
Yeah.
Okay, but he is so if the voters don't reward people at the local level for good governance, the politicians will never behave well. Yeah. And if you don't punish bad governance, the politicians have no incentive to do the right thing.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that part of it is on us, the people, because if we don't reward people who do the right and punish those who do wrong by the way we vote, or even advocate, but we sit on the fence and say, oh, I'm voting because the guy is from my hometown, or we the people from this is how we vote. This is what encourages the impunity. All right. So the balance is the leader's action. A friend of mine says in Ghana, politicians follow the public. The leadership is from the other way around. They look at what people like and they do it. Okay. So I think the idea of choosing your local leaders, whether it's MP or even your DCE, I think it's something we should look at very closely, because I can bet you that if Henry Cotti had been allowed to do what he did, and maybe he was an elected official at the regional level, maybe mayor of Greater Accra, voted for, some market women may not have liked him. But if after 4 years you notice that when you get to Atomic Junction, traffic is flowing, you notice that the street lights are working, you notice that grass is growing in the city, people say, this guy, the market women say they don't like him, but Accra is working. So even though I may not like his initial approach, I will vote for him. But now he's in a party where there's a national party, there's a president, and they are all, and he's just a regional minister. So they say, this guy, Charlie, he cry for do amnya. So in fact, they did that to him. So you notice that he's gone quiet. I think that whoever wins this election, if you really want to bring development to Ghana, you must find a way of reducing the power of the center. Because if the problem people like Henry Cotti face is that the presidency is too prominent. And once what you do begins to affect the national picture, Flagstaff House will call you and call you to order. If he had his own mandate
from the people,
and he proves that he can win Accra as a mayor, for example, despite what the MPP may think, people will say, this guy is solid. We like him. So I feel like I am looking for a solution which allows more effective decentralization.
The constitution.
Where you can have the voting public reward good behavior. Because as of now, the needs of the people forces the politicians to take suboptimal decisions to get our votes. And we vote to reward that bad behavior because we are surviving. We are not developing. So you give me sewing machine, you pay my school fees, and I vote for you. But you don't have a long-term plan to change me from poverty. You give me fishing net, you give me pre-bricks, I vote for you. But you don't have a plan to migrate me into commercial large-scale fishing. You get it? So I'm voting against my own long-term interest because you're satisfying my short-term need. You get my point? So it will actually worsen the situation because at the end of the day, I will not still come out of poverty.
Bernard, the question you should actually ask yourself is, why do people go into politics in Ghana? That's the fundamental question you need to address. Because in my respectful view, I don't want to say majority of the times, I don't want to say all of the times, I don't want to say some of the times. I would just say that these decisions to a large extent are driven not with the idea of serving the needs of the people, but really to serve the person's own interest.
You think so?
To a large extent. The reason is, the only reason you make it to parliament is that people have voted for you, right? Now, if you are in parliament, then you are in a privileged position. Then you can leverage that position. You can use that position to amass private wealth for yourself and or your cronies.
Not bring development to your people. Not lobby for growth.
Let's even talk about the
not
development.
Pass good laws.
When development projects are being done, it is a question of whether I know Nathan or Nathan is fronting for me. Nathan perhaps registers a company. Not in my name. I own the company, but Nathan is the person fronting for me. So somehow we do all the discussions, blah, blah, blah. Then I call Nathan, Charlie, this...
put in a bid.
Put in a bid. This funding is there. Talk to this person, blah, 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 blah. It's arranged nicely. The project is packaged and given to Nathan. On paper, Nathan is the owner of that company. But in reality, I am using Nathan as a vehicle to actually gain, private wealth. So I will go to the constituency. I will buy a few,
sewing
machines and give it to the people, because there is something known as democracy. The majority of people voting for me means that I'm back in Accra. And once I retain that mandate, then I will continue what appears to be sending development to the people, when in fact I'm actually increasing private
So your
capital.
plan was to make money for yourself, but the means is to be voted for.
Yes.
To get the prominence and to keep yourself in that voting position.
Exactly.
You have to. But some will say, so let's push it. So is it the need to give those people the money that makes you want to get their private wealth, or which one comes first? Because some will say the reason why they do that is that their salary is not enough. But when he goes to the house, there are people waiting for him for school fees. So he needs to make that private wealth through Nathan's name so he can pay their school fees and buy the sewing machines. Because if he doesn't buy the sewing machine, he's going to lose.
But let's reverse that question.
Okay.
There are people either in government today or in opposition today or in parliament today who we know to be very hungry. When we were meeting them around, right?
Yeah.
We met them in parliament. They came there as they came to do a few things there, or they were calling you to say, "Oh, Chalibena put me on air," blah blah blah. All of a sudden, the person becomes a party leader. All of a sudden, he becomes a member of parliament, and then you see a marked shift in his lifestyle. Now, the question you ask yourself, the person did not get employment with, say, Citi FM to train as a journalist and was paid. He didn't know anything about anything. All he knew what to do was how to talk eloquently on radio and defend a party line or party position. You understand? And when you speak to them privately, they tell you that, look, Charlie, this country is hard. The only way to break out and be an exception to the general rule is where you attach yourself to a political fortune and it turns properly and you are in the right place. So, and Charlie, I need money. And you hear them tell you that. So, yes, they would will help the people at the front. And in fact, some people do it. But
some do genuinely help.
Yes, some genuinely help. And the only way you can help in that position is when you are in that position. But, Bernard, to a large extent, people are finding politics as a way of getting away from the jail of poverty.
How can the electorate change that? Because we've endorsed that, have we not? Because based on what you're saying, if you and Godfred are standing and you buy me sewing machine, you pay my child school fees, I'll say you're a good man.
Yes.
And I'll say Godfred, when he was there, when I call, he doesn't pick. So I won't. Now, maybe you are doing deal with Nathan, but Godfred is not. But I am saying that because you give me sewing machine, you are a good man. So God should bless you, I'll vote for you. Godfred is making laws. He's trying to get them to do the road, but he's not really making any progress. And he doesn't have money to give me. So I think he's a bad guy. I'm not going to vote for him. So in that sense, is it you and Godfred's fault or is it my fault that my life is the way it is?
You see, so we the citizens must first of all appreciate that we deserve much more than the tokens thrown at us. And the only way we can get that is where the resources are distributed optimally, as you said. So if we are properly scrutinizing the person who is giving you, because if the person comes to give you 10,000 Ghana cedis, right? What it means is that he's made $200 million US.
Oh, you think that's a ratio, eh?
No, I'm not.
If he gives me 10,000, it means it's not as if he got 20,000, give me half.
Exactly. There's no.
You give me like 1%.
Yeah. But you see, it is also because of where you are on the ladder. Because
so if I'm higher in the ladder, he'll give me more.
Yeah, because the assumption here is that, look,
my nuisance value is low.
Yeah, that's right.
So I need only 1,000.
Yeah, that's right. And you are happy with that. And you see, if people become sophisticated enough to understand that it is not so much that the person likes you that much, but it is to keep you along and use you as a leverage to be able to get to political power. And therefore, let us be more critical when the person comes and say, oh, get this bentoa, and then you'll be happy.
Let me ask you a question. Can a hungry voter, a voter who's poor, have the presence of mind to think like what you're saying? So let's say genuinely, I'm a tailor and I'm struggling. Okay. Then again, you and Godfred is from one party or from another party. Godfred says he will help me, but he's not able to help me. He said he will link me to some government job I'm not getting. And then when you come and do a rally, and then you bring a new sewing machine, you give it to me.
Yes.
And then you give me a calendar with your name on it and you say, vote with this guy. Now, me, the guy who needed a sewing machine, I obviously think you are better than Godfred. I think Godfred is a bad guy. Because Godfred, he doesn't want to give me anything. He just gives me promises. But you would try.
Yeah, because you are an economic animal.
So my question is, can we blame a poor voter who makes a voting decision on what possibly a corrupt politician has given him to help him survive, can we blame that poor voter, or should we blame the system that has pushed the voter to a survival mode where he can't even differentiate between that Godfred is actually the kind of leader he needs, but it will take time for the type of leadership Godfred professes to manifest in his freedom. Do you understand that point? So that you are solving his problem now by giving him a sewing machine, and therefore you've solved his problem, he can pay his child's school fees, so you're a good man. Godfred says, I'm not going to take a bribe to give you a sewing machine. My job is not to give you a sewing machine. I'll do my best. If I can't give you a sewing machine,
forget it.
Do you understand? And he thinks Godfred is a bad guy. So is he a victim, or is he the problem? Is and I'm the voter now. Am I the victim, or am I the problem?
You are a victim
of the problem.
Of the problem. You are a victim of the problem. You see? Because what we've created is a system where we've created perhaps the ideal political situation for our kind of politicians, where they don't have to do anything but satisfy certain needs. You see, also because we have not been exposed enough to what a good politician looks like. There are, in the 30 years that we've gone through this process, very few of us, as a voting country, can point out to the idea of who a good politician is. As in, this is a person, because you see, the situation that you described, most of us in making our voting decisions look at what can this person do for me now,
as an individual. Now, so for me, and then now. Wow.
Two, our understanding of what the politician is supposed to do is already transactional. He owes me.
Wow.
Our politicians have also built on this by creating a generation of cynical voters, where instead of creating the 30 years we're supposed to create an enlightened voting populace, we've rather created a largely cynical voting populace.
Wow.
Where a lot of us look at it, even those who you would expect to have a certain kind of mentality, because you would consider them better informed. I'll not say better educated.
Better informed.
Better informed will look at you and tell you, yo, I'm voting for this guy because
it solves my problem.
It solves my problem. He's going to hook me up. Even though the person will understand that Caleb has ideas that if allowed to enter Parliament, he could push and the country will be better off 40 or 50 years. I don't have 40 or 50 years to wait. Last time you made a poignant point about the life of a country changing in one generation, you know. And we don't have enough of us understanding that if you have a good enough pool of politicians, you can actually make that change much quicker than you we have. But because we have not been exposed to enough good politicians, and that is the honest truth, those that you describe as the transactional are in the majority. Very few today, very few politicians will approach you and have a chat with you about ideology, and have a chat with you about just pure policy, and have a chat with you about lawmaking and how it impacts you. A lot of them would have a conversation with you about
what I will give you.
What I will give you.
What you will get from me now.
Now. And why you are better for me now. So until that generation, that pool of good politicians grow.
Let me ask you, is it the politician, and this is the last question, who has shaped my things? I'm the voter here, and you are the alternatives. You've made an interesting point that I want to vote for Sky because Sky solves my problem, me and my family's problem.
Yes. And but Caleb might be able to solve everybody's problem.
It's not Caleb, it's you. Sky solves my problem,
yes,
and then he solves it now.
No.
So you're saying that if the country is to change, I must be prepared to say, Sky may have a solution for me, but I think about the community, not me.
Yes.
So it means that the voter must be less selfish.
Yes.
And then number two, he must be less focused on now. So you're saying people must transition from thinking about themselves to the community, and then they must also stop thinking about what they get now to the kind of future that will be created.
Yes, but it's also built on what they are exposed to.
In the house, at a school,
in their general
in church,
environment,
and on the radio.
Exactly.
So I'm coming to something. So what I'm trying to say is that it may not be the politician's fault necessarily.
Yes.
If he goes to the Presby Church at Latte and is told that the God we serve believes in process, so it may take 15 years to develop our town, don't receive gifts from people and vote for them. Vote for the person who has a good plan for you. He goes to school and he's taught that patience is a very good virtue, and that don't be selfish. Learn to think about your neighbor. Take responsibility for your space, but don't be self-centered. So when he's in school, he's taught about keeping his community clean and being less self-centered. At home, he's told that it's not about you. When we give you something, learn to share. So my point is, this creature, the two of you, and the fact that I'm a victim, is not even because Sky socialized me as the politician to be bad. Me, Sky, and you have all come out of a house, a school, and a church system which has made us believe that this relationship is okay.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? So what I'm trying to say to the public is that first level, we can say the politicians have helped the voter become cynical, but that's just surface. The deeper issue is that the Bernard who is voting for Sky repeatedly because Sky is giving him things has not been brought up as a proper citizen. He doesn't understand that this is not about him alone, it's about his community. He doesn't understand that the journey of development takes time, and that even if Sky gives me money today, it may be destroying my future because we don't know where he's getting the money from, and he may be getting the money from corruption, which is depriving us of better development. But it was not Sky who created me. Myself and Sky were created by the home we came from, the school we attended, the church we go to, and the books we read. So what I'm trying to say to the public is that, you see, if you want to change your politics, change the radio station you listen to, change the church you attend, and begin to think deeply about the kind of values your family and your school is giving you. Because if voters will still today vote because of what they will eat now, people like Sky, in my example, so let me circumscribe it well, will continue to thrive. And people like you will struggle because you will give up. Because you said, in fact, you will also become cynical and say, I have decided to be a good politician. And these people only insult me. When somebody comes from abroad with cocaine money, they are taking his vote and they think I'm a bad guy. These people are not worth dying for. So let me go and teach in the village. You also leave. So what happens is that we discourage you because you're outnumbered. And then Nathan says, the Sky method works. So he goes to another constituency and becomes 10 times worse than Sky because he realizes that, if I can get enough money and I can buy enough sewing machines, I can buy power and I can buy police, I can buy media. And therefore, Nathan becomes 10 times worse than Sky. And I'm sitting here as a voter and I'm saying, wow, Nathan is big and bad. I prefer Nathan. I'll transfer my vote to Nathan because he's a better. You get it? So I'm just trying to say to society that, look, we are voting and fine. We don't have the chance to get into all these nuance. But we have to be very careful how we approach elections. And we have to let politicians know that let's reward good behavior.
Let me ask you something.
Let's reward character. Let's not reward people who give us things for now.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
You and Sky. How many, and we do have them, but how many of our MPs or politicians would you consider or would you call products of their society, of their communities?
What do you mean?
In terms of where they come from and understanding of the needs of the people.
Most of them.
Really?
Because usually to be an
I'll
MP,
give you a typical example, and I gave you this. So let's take Esiama Dukia.
She's MP
for
Ekropong initially, Ekwapim North, but now running at Okankwe.
But is now contesting as Member of Parliament for Okankwe in one election cycle.
But she's an exception. No. Because if you take the typical person...
I am coming. Sly.
There are exceptions.
No. What I'm saying is, everybody comes from a certain background. by the time the political vehicle discovers those persons, takes them to a certain place, and brings them back to you, those persons are no longer products of that society or that community. So they no longer represent you. So the point I'm making is, I know it's hard to express, but
you think they're from a different reality.
They live parallel existences.
So even though they may be living in a community,
the most of them actually don't come from the community anymore.
But what about the party executives who put them there? Because we are not even talking about MPs alone. The party executives.
Yes, I'm not talking about MPs.
The parties.
The person comes from somewhere.
The party executives who vote in the primaries are from the community.
Yes.
So if you go to say K2 North,
yes,
if they are going to choose in their primaries, the people who vote in that primary are in K2 North.
K2 North.
So, and I think
they would understand their needs.
So if they decide to vote for a stranger, it's because they have then decided that this stranger will solve their problem. So the problem is not even the MP necessarily.
Yes.
The problem is the people who represent the party at the local level, who
which is
believe
us.
that. Yeah. So I think that one of the things you need to reform is, if the question is asked, why do I enter politics? Even those who enter as party executives. So I'm a polling station executive.
Where did I enter?
Why are they entering? What do they try? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to say we believe in this party's ideals and therefore we will make sure that the right person gets voted for? Because he also takes a flat screen and chooses who he wants.
Yeah, but which
you get it? If he because he could have said, we are from this town. Sky has money, but we don't know where he's getting his money from. We prefer Godfred because Godfred grew up with us, or Godfred, we've seen his growth, so we'll choose him. But so the first problem comes from that executive. And by the time Sky is on the ticket, the person voting at the constituency level has only two options, Sky or Godfred. Whereas if the guy who was choosing Sky said, we'll make sure that only a proper person comes even on the ticket. You remember the discussion we had about political parties needing better political party governance when Asielu Nketia called. It's true, because you see, if the political parties cannot prevent the rot at that initial stage, it's almost like we've given part of our voting right to NDC and MPP party executives to pre-select for us the options we can use. Do you get my point? So the reform must not necessarily just talk about the larger voter populace, but the internal party mechanics that allows a certain kind of person to even get on the ticket, who even use politics to sanitize ill-gotten wealth. And the party structure is not able to detect that. So you have a hard-working MP, he's doing well legislatively, somebody gets money from somewhere, comes to buy 2/3 of the delegates and kicks him out after one term. This person has been trained by Parliament in 4 years, he's learning legislative drafting, he's probably going to be an asset to the country. But we say it's their democracy, so this guy has more money, he kicks him out. And we have to start the process all over again.
You know, the only solution I see,
a lot of us have been left traumatized by
the solution one will first be that the person who makes the decision as a voter must be able to say that, look, the community is because we are all, not because I am. In which case he will say that, look, let my needs wait. But unfortunately, if I ask you that question, you, the person sitting there, can your needs wait?
Good question.
Can your needs
wait? So it starts with the voter.
Yeah, it starts with the voter.
Because once he rewards bad behavior, it continues.
Exactly.
All right.
So for example,
I'll give you the last word.
Yes.
Last word.
I had a chat with the boss of Garrett this week.
Wonderful.
We're reflecting on the CBD, the state of the
What
CBD.
is Garrett?
The Greater Accra Resilient.
The Garrett project. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And he said that we have a dysfunctional society.
True.
People are looking for personal comfort because we have communal poverty. So if you look at the cars we drive on our roads, the quality of the individual cars are better than the communal road we all use. So everyone is looking for more money to get a better car.
Instead of thinking of a better road.
Yes.
So we can always use a bus.
So when Sai is asking, can your needs wait? That's the question we are asking
Can you
here.
repeat that point? I like it.
That we are looking for personal comfort because of communal poverty.
Wow.
Yes.
Whereas the solution should be
communal communal comfort, so that we all can share in that comfort.
Wow.
You know, that's if you go to the CBD example. So everything is chaotic. Central Business District. Everything is chaotic there. Now, if you decide that all those who are selling hair, let's come this way. Those who are selling shoe, let's come this way. Let's fix the road so that people can have easier access. The time you will spend to go buy what you're looking for the weekend will be less. So traffic.
We all benefit.
We all benefit. So that we don't spend so much time roaming through the CBD.
So the problem is the mindset of the people.
It's the mindset. Communal poverty.
Which means that we don't understand Ubuntu.
Yes.
We say it, but we don't understand it. Because even though we claim to be communal, we're actually very individual and selfish.
Very, very
because
individual and selfish.
If the or is it that we are not? Maybe we have been blinded to see the problem.
It's the Ghanaian exceptionalism. We think we are so good, but inherently we are not.
Is it exceptionalism or individualism?
No, he's saying that it's called American exceptionalism. They think that they are like you think you are so good, so it blinds you to your problem.
Yeah.
So it's our selfishness that empowers this behavior. At least we've made progress. 9:23 City Breakfast Show. Couple of quick announcements coming through, Nathan.
Yes, Cerelac is here. The all-new Cerelac is out. There's a new variant which combines wheat, maize, grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals. All you need is milk, and it's only 2 cedis per sachet. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This ad is FDA approved. From December 24th to the 31st of December, if you are thinking of the perfect holiday getaway, speak to Global Wings Travel and Tour. They are going to Cape Town and Joburg for that period. Call them on 0553 688 398 to find out more about their packages. Global Wings Travel and Tours, truly global, proudly Ghanaian. The 16th of November is a Saturday, and at 5:30 a.m. that day at the forecourt of the State House, there will be some fitness and fun. It's the Omni Basic Bank Health Walk. It will start from the State House through the principal streets of Accra, back to the State House for aerobics and other exciting activities. For more info, call 0307 086 000 or toll free 0800 100 790 to find out more. Omni Basic Bank at your service.
Now, if you're looking for litigation-free land, contact Royal Kingdom Estate. They specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. With properties in prime areas like Accra and Abri, with land starting at 90,000 Ghana cedis. Flexible payment plans are available. Affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport are also available. Visit us at Cantonments opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call this number 055 755 5909 or 0272 778880. Send us an email, info at Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. And if you're looking for reliable, uninterrupted electricity supply, Deep Solar Ghana has you covered. For only 58,000 Ghana cedis, you can go fully solar and enjoy independence from the grid. No more lights off or power fluctuations, just peace of mind and savings. So call this number 059 549 4113. Visit deepsolarghana.com to learn more. Remember, your energy independence begins when you call Deep Solar. And for your comfort, if you want to sleep and enjoy your night, wake up strong and refreshed for your day, always choose Latest Foam. They also have furniture crafted with your ultimate relaxation in mind. They have showrooms across the country. Do well to visit. Here's a number to call: 0302 231 155. Visit www.latestfoamghana.com.
Well, I have some good news for you. I'm going to be talking to some people who will help you acquire marketable skills.
Wow.
These are Microsoft skills for job micro degree program, so that you can work anywhere in a high value tech driven job market. I'm going to be speaking to some very interesting people who are doing a training for us. It's Microsoft skills for job micro degree program coming up shortly. We'll read your comments after that interview, because we have a lot of comments on this discussion whether to vote for Sky or for Godfred. That's the point. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
OneXBet values your activity and wants to celebrate with you. Stay with us and enjoy 1x free bet, a weekly reward just for you. Sign up at onexbet.com.gh.
9:32 City Breakfast Show. We've discussed the problem, but we have a solution as well. The solution is you can enhance your employability, your knowledge, and your relevance to the world if you learn more. Don't forget this morning on the business sense. Point number 3, never stop learning. Well, there are some people here who will be talking to you about how you can elevate your career with globally recognized skills. So I have the CEO of Microsoft Skills for Jobs micro degree program, Syed Jawid. Syed, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We also have Mami Fuaesel. She's the CEO of 0800 Africa, who are the Ghanaian partners for this very important program. Mami, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
We'll chop the party after. Benedictus Atichogui is also with 0800, is a consultant. And I'm happy to say it's another year too. Benedictus, good to see you. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
The first time I saw your face, it was in a Presec magazine, and you were very skinny and small. So life has been good to you.
Thank you.
All right, so Syed, tell me about this Microsoft Skills for Jobs program and how it inspired the collaboration with the university in Finland and, of course, with the Ghanaian partner company.
First of all, pleasure to be here on your show.
Mm-hmm. Of course, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here on the show. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. And this is my first visit to Ghana.
Is it?
And I've already fallen in love with the country.
May it not be your last.
And I plan to be here as a regular visitor.
Wonderful.
So, when we first looked at Microsoft Skills for Jobs micro degree program, it was clear that it is what people in societies need today globally.
Mm-hmm.
The program is not only a set of professional certificates, it offers several timely and accurate courses developed in collaboration with Microsoft, global mentor companies, and KMK University based out of Finland. And this partnership has brought real work-life experience content and demand for high-quality courses for global employment opportunities, and also to help these partner global tech companies with recruitment and their employee competence development. What made us even more interested in collaborating with KMK University and Microsoft is the official approval of learners' competence after completing different courses under the micro degree program. The learners receive a course completion certificate signed by Microsoft and KMK University. So the certificates issued are officially from Microsoft.
Is it?
Yes. Plus course badges, plus ECTS credits, which is the European University credits, which are awarded for each and every course completed. And these credentials basically demonstrates the students or graduates' competency in the subject matter for global job employment opportunities. The ECTS stands for the European Credit Transfer Accumulation System. Is a European higher education area tool that makes studies and courses more transparent.
Okay.
So all the universities in the European Union follow the ECTS credits.
Okay.
ECTS credits represent learning based on defined learning outcomes and the associated workload, and this is the latest in the world of learning. Also, companies, international global companies, trust and rely on ECTS credits along with the certification from Microsoft and so forth to approve applicants' competencies in the recruitment process. Skills for Jobs or Microsoft Skills for Jobs micro degree program courses, curriculum, certificates, and ECTS credits hold global recognition within the IT industry.
You've said a lot. Let's break it down. So, Ben, how will Ghanaians benefit from this? Right. So just make it very simple.
Very simple. Today, we all looking. Unemployment has become a big issue across developing world, and people are learning. But are they learning things that are relevant for what employers are looking for? Employers are looking for people who are skilled in what they do. So this program is actually tailored by not only Microsoft or Cambridge University, but also the big employers in the global market. So that makes it easy for people from developing world to be able to get jobs across the world. So you can work from home, you can work from anywhere because you got the skill that is acceptable.
Right. So what kind of skills are we talking about, right? Let's be a bit more specific.
Okay.
What kind of skills can people
So
get?
if you look at technology industry today,
Yeah.
you have the run-of-the-mill technologies, and
Yeah.
then the second set of technologies is what we call disruptive technologies.
Yeah.
That is what's driving the world today.
Uh-huh.
What are disruptive technologies? Cloud and cybersecurity,
Mm.
latest platforms for coding,
Mm.
AI, which is the
course.
buzzword today,
Yeah.
drone technology, robotics,
Mhm.
gamification,
Mm.
data engineering,
Yeah.
data science.
Of
All
course.
those are disruptive technologies. Microsoft Skills for Jobs program
Mhm.
focuses
On these
the
disruptive
technologies,
Mhm. skills needed in these
technologies.
Okay.
So there is a huge gap globally. So when you speak to global IT companies or companies, including Ghana,
Mhm.
who are in IT industry,
Yeah.
they say, if you ask them what is your biggest challenge,
Yeah.
they say qualified skill sets are not available in the market.
Qualified skill sets.
Are not available in the market for us to recruit those people
Mhm.
for quality employment.
Okay.
This is not something that is unique to Ghana.
It's a global problem.
It's a global problem across the globe, including Europe and US and everywhere.
Why are schools not able to give them those skills?
Very, very good. So, if you ask the global companies, their reply is when a student graduates from a university,
Mhm.
the young man or the young lady does not have the skill sets of what is required in the marketplace.
Mhm.
Because the technology is changing fast.
Before the university was even, I mean, the university's course is outmoded. Based on-
Well, the universities are driven and defined by what they teach and what the students learned, depending upon the Ministry of Education,
Yeah, there are many factors.
higher education commissions, all those things.
So even though Microsoft may be looking for coders of a specific knowledge base,
Exactly.
the university may not be minded to do that immediately.
So a computer science graduate may have done 1 or 2 courses in cybersecurity.
Yeah,
That's theoretical knowledge.
yeah,
What the employers want is once a recruit or a candidate, a fresh graduate comes in, he or she needs to be contributing to the company and being productive
from
day
day
one. Currently, if you ask the global CEOs of global companies or SME companies, small and medium-sized businesses,
Mm.
the standard response that we have seen across Middle East, Africa, South Asia, and South America is that when we recruit a fresh graduate, they are a cost center for us for 1 year.
You have to train them.
We have to train them until they become productive. And that is why, with all due respect, and this may be challenged, the entry salary of a computer science graduate in Ghana is very, very low. But it is in line with the salaries across Africa, South Asia, and Middle East. Because the cost of training that person for him or her
To bring them up to par to what the company requires.
it takes about a year
investment.
plus.
All right.
Now, with the skills for micro degree program, which are domain specific,
Yeah.
so a company who is in cybersecurity will be looking at for people in cybersecurity.
Yeah, so you mentioned a few disruptive technologies. Give me 2 or 3 or 4 skill areas for which, if I came for this program, I'll be trained in.
Okay. So currently, we have 3 programs running globally.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is cloud and cybersecurity.
Cloud and cyber security. Okay.
Well, where does the cloud come from?
Mm.
And why cybersecurity?
Okay.
Today, I mean, if I go back to my days, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, the software was residing on a laptop
Mm-hmm.
or on a PC.
Yeah. Now it's in the cloud.
Everything is on the cloud. When you access your bank online
in the
from
cloud.
your mobile phone,
Mm.
you're not hitting the server or the data center of the bank. You're going via
Into
the
the
cloud.
Mm.
It's the cloud that's managing the two-way traffic.
So the first area is cloud and cyber security.
Now, since the data is on a cloud
Mm.
and not on a wired network, which is protected in 4 walls,
You need somebody to secure the cloud. So that area of skill is very necessary.
so it's the cloud and cybersecurity. That
Good.
is the skill that is highest in demand today.
Because whether you're a bank, whether you're a hospital, whether you're a government,
Correct.
all your data is in the
Correct.
cloud. And if you don't have people who can
Exactly.
lock it in, you're in big trouble.
So I'm very pleased to announce this, that Ethiopian government has now taken our cloud and cybersecurity program or the course as mandatory for security agencies, banks, fintech.
Everybody has to have it.
Everybody has to have it.
So that's one area. Yeah. So there are courses within cloud and cybersecurity.
Right.
How long will the course take me, that specific course?
Let me just take one step back.
We don't have all day, so I'm trying to move you along pretty quick.
Sorry.
Yes.
Cloud and cybersecurity is a micro degree. It's not one certificate like traditional professional certificates.
Micro degree.
It's a micro degree which has multiple certificates,
all right,
starting from fundamentals to advanced.
Wonderful.
So cloud and cybersecurity has 6 certificates or courses.
6 courses within that?
Within that.
All right.
And the student has to do all the 6 to become employable. Just doing fundamental courses does not get you.
So he needs to go through all the 6. How long will it take him to do those 6 courses? On average?
On average, the period is 3 months.
Okay, let me give you a breath of water. I'm speaking to, this is very interesting. We've been talking about micro skills or Microsoft skills for a job micro degree program, which is being run in Ghana by 0800 Africa. And I have Mame for SL and Benati Chogbe from that company. Syed Jawed is the CEO for the program globally. And he's here to talk about that, explaining to us. He's now said there are 3 areas of training. Cloud and cybersecurity is one area of which there are different programs he's explaining. So there are 6 levels within just that course area.
There are 6 professional certificates within the cloud and cybersecurity, starting from fundamentals to advanced courses.
Good. Give me the next broad area beyond cloud and cybersecurity. What other area is there?
The buzz that you hear in IT industry is for freelancers, students, graduates, whatever, learn coding.
Coding.
And you can earn income globally by becoming a freelancer or working for a company.
Yeah.
Now, Microsoft Power Platform, which is a new technology that Microsoft has come in, you can do coding to develop apps and softwares and so forth without knowing the language of coding.
Wow.
It is object-driven.
So the platform is going to make it easy for you.
Yes.
So once you get used to the way the platform works,
correct,
you can learn how to code.
So all you need is a design and a concept.
That's all.
But what you don't need is a coding language background.
Wow.
To actually develop apps and software.
So it makes your journey into this coding much easier. So how long does it take me to learn that on the platform?
Okay. So on an average, any course with dedication and time investment, you can do the complete micro degree program in cloud and cybersecurity, Power Platform, or AI in 3 months, 3 to 3.5 months.
Good.
However, when you register for the program, we make the program open for you for 1 year.
Wonderful. So you can take your time and actually learn it well.
Exactly.
So this is the Power Platform.
Yeah, Power Platform is the second program.
Yes.
The third one is what we call Dev AI or Development AI.
So that's in the AI area.
That's in the AI area, again offered by Microsoft.
Wonderful. And that also, so listeners, if we are getting this clear, there's a cloud and cybersecurity strand, there's the Power Platform strand, and then there's the Dev AI
strand.
So on the Dev AI, what do I learn? Give me some details. I'm just learning how to manipulate AI or learn how to use AI or create my own AI tools.
So even AI today is all cloud driven.
Yes.
You don't do it on a chip anymore.
All right.
So Dev AI takes you there are 7 certificates or 7 courses in Dev AI under Dev AI micro degree program.
Okay.
You start with the fundamentals and then you are trained on how to design AI products and softwares on the Microsoft Azure cloud platform.
Wonderful. Mami, so who can take part in this? What kind of background do I need? And are you trained? Is it happening in some school or some company? Just talk to me about. Now people are interested, right? So what do we do?
We have opened this to, student to career changes, technology professionals. I can go back to even say that if you're finished SS and you're home and you are interested in technology, you can take this course.
Even pre-university?
Yes, before you even enter university.
Okay.
And, for graduates who are in level 400, about finishing, it will be good for you to take this course. So when you come out, you already have the skills to get onto the job. And I will add that currently I even have I call him the old man, who is already has 30 or 40 plus experience in work, who is taking this. And gladly and happily to tell you that I have my first 2 Ghanaians who have already finished first model and second model, and they have their badges.
And when you get the badge, you can get a job anywhere.
No, you would have to finish all the 6 models.
All the 6 modules.
Yes, then you will get the employment.
And this is
anywhere
recognized.
at all.
So if I take the course here in Accra, I can get a job in New York.
Yes, you can.
It's recognized.
Yes, you can.
So how do I register for this? And do I get interviewed? Do I write an exam, or I just show up with money?
No, what you have to do is just register, and we'll have your details, and of course you do your payment. Then we'll send you an email. Then you can start the course. It's actually risk-free and also flexible.
Is this
for you to
in-person
finish.
training, or we do it via
It's online.
Online course?
So pay your own time. I always say that it's always good for one to probably after a day's work you take an hour to just do some learning, and this is opportunity for you to.
And
do
this
that.
includes assignments and all of those
everything,
things. And
everything.
where are the trainers based? Global. They are.
It's global and it's online.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Now-
let me add to that.
Yes.
The Microsoft Skills for Jobs micro degree program has been designed for students in universities and colleges who have not graduated yet, graduates from universities who are job seekers, freelance professionals who want to increase their earning potential, and IT professionals in the industry looking for career advancement and self-development.
Wonderful.
So we have basically covered everyone.
Ben, how do people get in touch with 0800 Africa? Is there a number to call? How can I register for the course?
0800 Africa is reachable on the website of 0800africa.com, or you can...
So that's 0800.
0800 as in numeric.
And then Africa is, okay, so 0800africa.com.
Yes, which is one word actually. So
One word,
0800 Africa, one word.
Or you can call the landline 0302 739 000.
All right, can you repeat that?
0302 739 000.
Just a final comment. What's the role of KAMK University in Finland in all of this? Just 1 minute.
KMK University, or the full form of the university is KNA University of Applied Sciences, is the leading applied sciences university in Finland.
All right.
And Microsoft has partnered with KMK University to take the content online under the Finnish teaching and learning system called the pedagogy methodology.
Okay.
As you know, Finland has been ranked number 1 and number 2 in education globally since the 60s. And Finnish education system is ranked number 1 in the world. So that's where the relationship is. Plus, the university is only has 4,200 students. So it's a very small university. But the Europe's fastest supercomputer resides on their campus.
Obviously, there's a reason for that.
And they are one of the most recognized university for game development, where they actually offer bachelor's and master's degree in game development.
Amazing.
So the collaboration and they use the KMK University learning management systems to deploy the program globally. So that's where the
collaboration comes in.
That's where the collaboration comes in.
All right, so you know what to do. Go online, 0800africa.com, or you can also call 0248 777 739. Thank you, Syed. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Mami.
It's a pleasure to be here.
And obviously, you'll hear more about this program throughout the rest of the week.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
You play me, I play you. A stage play written by Efo Kojumagbe.
Maza, you not pay me you. I didn't run. I said it's 150 Ghana cedis. That's 15,000 naira. If I'm just this place to this place, you say 150. I took you from Tema to come to me.
Join Jonalyn Tatia Ghana, Brain Jota Nigeria, Clemento Shores Ghana, and Adra Olins Lindsay. adopted Nigerian, for a night of laughter, drama, and great moments at the National Theatre on 8 November 2024 for 2 shows at 4 p.m. first show and 8 p.m. second show, and the Bukum Boxing Arena on 9 November 2024 at 7 p.m. for one unforgettable show. To purchase ticket, simply dial *713 *33 *10# or visit africaartsnetwork.com or go to the various locations: Airport Shell, Bachana Total, Roxwache, and Silverbird Cinemas Accra Mall. For more information, call 0541 234 586. You Play Me, I Play You is powered by Africa Arts Network in collaboration with Challenging Heights.
From the classroom to the lab, from the village to the city, the NPP's commitment to education is building a brighter Ghana. Free SHS isn't just about free tuition, it's an investment in Ghana's future. We have topped it up with free TVET and STEM education, skilled graduates, innovative thinkers, and a thriving economy. That's the promise of free SHS.
3 of my cousins have benefited from free SHS since 2017. One has graduated and is in nursing training. The other 2 are also in the university. I'll vote number 1. I'll vote for Baumia on December 7th.
We are building a better tomorrow through education. Vote NPP. Vote number 1. Vote Baumia. Baumia means business. Esro.
Are you sending the sales?
Boss, Medicana Kopim.
Hey, what the car to me so?
Boss, you no renew the insurance.
Charlie, I didn't have time. Oh, I had to go to the farm.
You can insure on the farm.
And I had to go to the market too.
You could have insured in the market.
I had to cook supper for my wife.
Even in the kitchen, you can still insure.
But how?
By texting or buyer on 0242 426 396 to help insure with Provident Insurance on WhatsApp from anywhere. Annie, babia. With Obaya, now you can insure your car anywhere, anytime. On WhatsApp, text Obaya on 0242 426 396 today. With Provident.
Man, you are covered.
Come on. Good boy. Honey, look, he's crawling. Wow. Good job. The new Cerelac Wheat and Maize has the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals also found in fruits and vegetables. To prepare the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, just add milk. Enjoy your little one's big moments at less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
Efia, I've been thinking, have you noticed the changes in our community?
Kojo, things are really different now. The MPP has really made a difference.
Exactly. Free SHS, healthcare, new factories. It's like a whole new Ghana.
And don't forget, electricity is so much reliable now. I remember when we used to go days without light.
True. The NPP has done a lot to improve the basics.
Ajua is a beneficiary of free SHS. And now, she is in university.
And that's the kind of leadership we need. Someone who is focused on making things better for everyone. But Efia, still there are a lot more to be done for the development of Ghana.
Absolutely, Kojo. The NPP has shown that real progress is possible.
On December 7th, let's vote to keep this positive impact going. Vote number 1 on the ballot. Vote NPP for a better and prosperous Ghana.
The luckiest.
Star 712 #.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 # and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the car prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere for everyone. Yeah, the luckiest.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's too late to say that you're sorry.
Joined the press conference yesterday. Right. So as we said, if you're looking to elevate your career with globally recognized skills, 0800 Africa presents a new micro degree program, which was just described. You can call 0248 777 734 or visit 0800africa.com to learn more and sign up today. So many comments on the discussion we had. We don't have enough time to go through them. Special replay of Beyond Borders happening today on Channel 1 TV at what time?
That's at 1 p.m. Bernard, we do a part 2 with Chris Senano. He takes us to his lovely home at a place called Kitusuru. From Kitusuru, we drive to Royambu, where the campus for USIUA is a private university in Kenya, where he is the chancellor. So we'll go to the campus. We had a conversation about his role at Safaricom, life in Kenya. And then we also drove through the town, so you get to see Kenya, had conversation about how they do some developments. I'm told a hotel that was built was pulled down because it was not built at the right place. So in keeping with the city's plan and all of that.
To say that you're sorry after you've broken my poor heart.
City News at 10 is next with how Idrisu, and I'm sure there's a lot more developing from the Parliament. Howard, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Coming up.